Thank you very much, Kyle. Getting ready now for the opening kickoff. And it'll be Fort Collins kicking off to the Cherry Creek Bruins. There you see number 25. Holmes back for this kick here. And we are underway here at French Field. Holmes will take it just inside his 20-yard line. Holmes, he's got a seam, and he's going all the way here. Big return by Holmes down the sideline. See you later. Touchdown, folks. We're in for a game here, I think. 85 yards by Roman Holmes for the touchdown. And Cherry Creek coming out fast here.
You know, Peter, this is a guy that's starting to feel it. Coach Critchett said this week that last year he really didn't understand the game as well as he does now, and it's just coming. It's flowing with him right now. It's fluidity right here. He gets past two tacklers, would-be tacklers. We'll see if he steps out. And he did step out.
So, yeah. Shows it right there. There's the video evidence. So, anyways, nevertheless, what a start right there for Cherry Creek. Take a look at Jack Elway, starting quarterback here.
58 yards on that return.
So, 1st and 10 now for Cherry Creek. Go back to Holmes, trying to kick it outside. Great running by number 25, Roman Holmes.
Yeah, that's another good example. I mean, he was patient with the ball on the left side, and we're going to see this tonight, running the pro-style offense with John Elway, a little play action, also running on the ground.
Let's take a look at the old line now for Creek. Paxton, Bambert, Gaston, Swinehart, and Schneiders. Levy and Holmes in the backfield with Elway, Johnson, McCauley, and Wilbers are your receivers. So just like that, I mean, this game is just starting. 11:36 remaining in the first quarter. Cherry Creek looking to put some numbers up on the board here early. 1st and 10. Go back to Holmes. Big tackle right there. Saving tackle for Fort Collins.
Yeah, Blake West, he's been banged up a little bit. He's going to come up and make the play here. Just a great athlete also.
Let's take a look now at the D-line for Fort Collins. Crawford, Danner, Spalding, and Tiedemann. The linebackers, Hedstrom, Dillard, and Richard. And the secondary consists of Richardson, Arubarena, Donaldson, and West. So Hedstrom coming up with a big tackle right there to save the day for Fort Collins. Elway throwing, and that's in and out of the hands of Levy. Should have had that one. Okay, let's take a look at the Panda Express keys of the game.
All righty, let's start with Cherry Creek, Peter. Attack on both sides of the ball. Fort Collins is young, banged up. 5 to 6 guys will start on both sides of the ball. That'll be a key for them as you look at John Elway. And it's going to be somewhat frightening for some people because he looks just like Pops back there in the pocket.
A 3rd and 15 situation now here for Creek. Elway's going to throw into the end zone. That's picked off. A big-time defensive play right there by Fort Collins. And I think head coach Eric Rice is breathing a little bit more easy as his defense comes up big. And we said this off the top of the show. Their defense is the strength. They won last week's game against Longmont because of D. Take a look at it right here.
This is Tanner Hedstrom. This guy plays on both sides of the ball. You don't see that a lot in 5A football. Squares up, great vision, sees Elway's eyes, takes advantage of it, and anticipates. I don't know if Jack couldn't see him or what happened on that play, but a great play by Hedstrom.
You know, last year when these two teams met, Fort Collins confused the daylights out of Jack Elway. He didn't know where blitzes were coming. He couldn't read the defenses properly.
Yes.
That's the reason why the Fort Collins won last year against Cherry Creek. So there you see Donaldson at the helm for Fort Collins. Ranglos in motion. And Donaldson drops the ball right there, and they'll lose about 5 yards on that play. So a bad start for the Fort Collins offense.
Yeah, you got to watch guys on the front line there for Cherry Creek, like Pete Williams, for example. He needs to clog it up inside and make some tackles, shed some blocks when Fort Collins tries to run the ball. They will run the option out of the shotgun offense, and it's kind of funny because this is basically the offense that Cherry Creek ran last year at this time.
So Donaldson will use his feet a lot in this game. That's a loss of 7 yards. 2nd and 17 now.
Someone jumped off, I believe for Creek, I thought.
Play. Find out now what the call is here.
Dead ball foul. Ball start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. The down remains 2.
So the offense, a little jittery, I would think, here in the early going of this game.
You know, we haven't mentioned yet that John Elway is here, of course, up in the press box. He's coaching the quarterbacks. This is a good opportunity for him to coach his son one last time. As the offense right now is the Lampkins.
Take a look at Alvarez and Dillard in the backfield. 2nd and 21 now. Decide to keep it on the ground, and that's not going to go anywhere for Fort Collins.
Donaldson on the keeper.
Okay, let's check out the defense now for Cherry Creek. And the D-line for Creek, Dietrich, Williams, as you said, very strong player on that D-line. Chance, Heppard, Ragsdale, Price, and Zeller are your linebackers. Thompson, Papillion, and Murphy are in the secondary. So they run a 3-5 offense up front. And when we were talking to Coach Critchett, he said, hey, listen, this is what we're going to run because we have the athletes. We have more players that have that linebacker size.
Yeah, he likes that speed, sideline to sideline, the pursuit. You saw Joel Ragsdale right there, 6 feet, 215 pounds, a senior. He's a player.
So it's 3rd and Montana now for Collins, basically. And we got another whistle on the play.
Dead ball foul. Delay game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. The down remains 3rd.
Whoa. I think Coach Rice is tearing out his hair, or what little hair he has left there.
Yeah, they're both teams shooting themselves in the foot early on here, and we talked about it in the open. The first week is a learning experience, and early on in the second week, it's a learning experience as well.
Now, we talked about this before the game, you and I. Doesn't Coach Rice look a lot like Danny McManus, who played at Florida State?
Well, yeah, Seminole fans would think so. I agree.
So 3rd and 22 now. And the offense for Fort Collins been shooting themselves in the foot in the early going of this game. Donaldson's got nowhere to go. That was number 57, Adams, coming in with a sack right there for Cherry Creek.
Yeah, once again, Coach Critchett likes to use blitz packages. They'll throw a lot at the junior quarterback tonight. Even though they're an option team, a running team out of that shotgun, they're going to throw a lot of looks. But then again, so is the Fort Collins defense.
So they'll punt this ball away. Back to punt it is Evans for Fort Collins. Picked up around midfield right there. And Cherry Creek, they're going to get pretty good position right here, depending on what that flag is. And we'll await the call right there, but a great return
for the Lampkins.
36-yard punt, 12-yard return. Block in the back.
So it looks like that's going to go against Cherry Creek.
Yeah, they need to limit their mistakes, both teams. This is a great opportunity for Cherry Creek right now inside the 50-yard line. And they'll try to see if they can capitalize.
During the return, legal block in the back on the receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Will be first down, Cherry Creek. Timeout. Television.
Okay, we're going to step aside for a moment. No score in this game. Right, welcome back to French Field, and there you see, I think that's Coach Rice trying to settle down his players right here. Looked very shaky on offense, as did Cherry Creek, that interception by Jack Elway. So the two offenses, they have to settle down just a tad here.
Yeah, and remember, Fort Collins ran all over Creek last year. The Lampkins had a little chip on their shoulder from the year before. It was 33-0 going into the fourth quarter last year. Matt Yem, an outstanding quarterback for Fort Collins, led the Lampkins along with Zach Donaldson, Cody Donaldson's older brother. Both those guys at CSU these days and rooming together.
Okay, let's see what Jack Elway and the offense can do right now. A little confusion in that backfield. And that was a poor handoff, miscommunication between Holmes and Elway. Let's take a look now at our keys to the game.
All right, for Cherry Creek, got to attack on both sides of the ball. The Lampkins, they're young, they're banged up. They'll have 5 to 6 guys start on both sides of the ball, and they need to take advantage of that. Protect Elway so he can do what he does best, deliver the rock. Stay competitive for Fort Collins. Hey, they just want to be in the fourth quarter of this game, and then try to confuse Elway on defense right here. We'll see if they can do that. They throw a lot of looks at Elway tonight.
Those keys to the game brought to you by Panda Express. Now it's Levy now, trying to find some room, tries to cut back. He's going nowhere. Great pursuit right there by the Fort Collins defense, and that's a Rubarena with the tackle.
Yeah, nice little pass in the flat to Levy. This is the brother of Derek Levy. A lot of high school football fans will remember his name. This is his younger brother. Right here, he just needs to go north and south instead of trying to cut back here. Fort Collins, a very, very good defense. You got to go north and south whenever you have an opportunity.
And there you see Rubarena. We were talking to Coach Healy of Fort Collins, very high on number 27. 3rd and 10 now. 6:46 remaining in the first quarter. Elway back in the pocket, got some pressure on him, and he is sacked for a loss.
Well, Peter, Coach talked about that. Coach Rice talked about that earlier in the week. They've got to bring it. Now, you have to remember a lot of these guys are playing both sides of the ball. They may be spent by the fourth quarter, but that will be key to be aggressive on defense. Here they bring the blitz. They're going to try to confuse Jack here.
And that's Hedstrom, I think, getting in on Elway first, and that's a loss for 12 yards. And so far, Mr. Hedstrom has had himself a pretty good game, I think.
Yes, he has.
So Lucas Thompson back to punt this ball away. A little bit of pressure right there from Fort Collins. And they're going to get half-decent field position right here. So once again, both offenses stuttering a bit. And there you see Coach Critchett. And Coach Critchett, Coach Rice, I mean, these guys go back a long way.
Yeah, they do. You know, Coach Rice enters his 5th season at Fort Collins. Coach Critchett also enters his 5th season at Cherry Creek. Both these guys coached together at New Mexico Highlands. Coach Rice was there for 5 months before Coach Critchett was let go. They both enter their schools at the same time and both have about the same records.
Okay, so now Fort Collins back on offense to see what Donaldson can do. They're in the I formation here. Gonna roll out. Pass right there, and that's picked off. And that's Chance with a pickoff for Cherry Creek.
That's a strong safety, one of the strong safeties. TJ Shantz, probably a better baseball player than a football player, but right there, a very good football player. Anticipates, comes up, makes the play. He's only a junior, and Coach Critchett loves what he sees in number 5.
He was the MVP of their defense last season. And as you say, pretty good baseball player, but he's looking pretty good right here with this pick.
Yeah, and Donaldson rolls out to the right, gives him a little time, but, you know, he doesn't look at it. And he should have kept his head up there and made a better decision, obviously. Probably shouldn't have thrown the ball.
Trying to hook up with Ranglos right there. So 1st and 10 now. Cherry Creek in the red zone. Elway to Holmes, or excuse me, that's Levy, and that's a touchdown for Cherry Creek.
What great effort by Levy. This is hard to teach high school players to do this. If you can hold on to the ball, sometimes you're reluctant to coach your players to do this, but if you can hold on to it and you have confidence like that to reach over the goal line and break the plane, then do it. This is great. A little pass out in the flat. It's amazing how much he looks like John Elway when he throws the ball, but a great effort there by Levy into the end zone.
Little misspeak on my part. That's Michael Wilson with the touchdown right there for Cherry Creek. Nonetheless, 6-0 for Creek. And we'll see if that gives the offense a little confidence. Both offense sputtering here.
Well, a great effort by Wilson then. Great effort.
He's about the same size as Levy, so.
That's a way to get into the end zone and break the plane.
So we've got a whistle here on the play. Find out the referees conferring with each other. And yeah, I'm getting a sense that both these teams just a little jittery here in the early going.
Absolutely. And if you watched any of Cherry Creek last year, you can see that the offense the offense is a little bit different than last year, and I think this is great for Jack Elway, a pro-style offense. Try to set up the pass with the run, throw those little passes in the flat, and he can open it up later.
Getting the extra point here, and that is blocked. And it's been one mistake after another here in this game.
I think Chance Crawford got his hands on it there. At least he was in there on that play. Just a great athlete.
Okay, 6-0 for Cherry Creek here in the first quarter. You're watching high school football on Altitude Sports. To Kyle Keith. Kyle?
Hey guys, as the defenses kind of dominate the game right now, one little thing you might want to watch. Last week against Montbello, Creek only saw 3 passes in their defensive backfield. 3 passes the entire game. Will that mean that the head coach for Fort Collins will give the green light to Donaldson, a junior quarterback already with 1 interception tonight? Do they run the ball? Do they pass the ball? And test that secondary. This is a huge, huge possession right now for these guys.
Thank you very much, Kyle. Yeah, it definitely is. They got to get some flow going on this offense. And Donaldson, he came into that game against Longmont, and, he wasn't taking any reps because Evans was the quarterback. And then they decided to make a little bit of a change at quarterback, brought Donaldson in. He struggled a little bit, got the offense moving somewhat, didn't score a touchdown. But, he's only really had a week. He's only really had a week of reps getting prepared for this game.
That's right, and what Kyle said is true. And honestly, I don't know if Cherry Creek will be tested in the defensive backfield as well tonight. But Donaldson will grow as a passer. Right now, he's stronger with his feet, but he will get better as a passer. He's only a junior, and now he knows he's the quarterback. He has a lot of things to worry about on both sides of the ball.
So let's have a look at the scoring drive recap for the Cherry Creek Bruins. And there you see one play, 10 yards. A 10-yard touchdown pass from Elway to Wilson. There you see Coach Critchett. Had a great conversation with him this week. And, we talked about the fact that there's always pressure when you coach Cherry Creek. They're expected to be successful, expected to win games.
5th year, 34-13 as a head coach. That's pretty good.
I think that is. And he said, we haven't been blown out in too many games during his tenure. So I guess he must be doing something right. Let's see what they can do here now on defense.
Well, that's good defense back there when they're handing the ball off as deep as they are. Fort Collins is trying to get a feel now for what Cherry Creek is doing on defense. And we talked about, Donaldson and playing safety and quarterback. This is very tough. His brother was an outstanding quarterback for Fort Collins last year and even the year before, a great athlete, I should say. Matt Yem was the quarterback. Just 2 great athletes that are now at Colorado State University.
2nd and 9 now. And Donaldson now going to take it on the ground. And Donaldson down that sideline. Shantz will have to make a tackle here. And that is a big play right there for Fort Collins. Let's see if that gets them rolling a little bit.
Well, talking to the assistant coaches, they really felt good about the practice this week because they looked at the tape and they said, you know what, we can run the ball. If we execute up front, run the option, and that's an option right there. He read the play. He read the ends coming in, pulled the ball out of the belly, took off, and he's gone. Huge play for Fort Collins.
45-yard run there by Donaldson. Shantz and Thompson had to track him down. So 1st and 10 now for Fort Collins. Donaldson in the shotgun. He's going to run it again. Not going anywhere. Might have got a couple of yards maybe on that play.
Hey, if you can get 3 yards on a play like that, that's okay. And they may have picked up 2 or 3.
Adams with the tackle on that play. And there you see the folks here tonight at French Field. Getting a little enthusiastic about this game. 6-0 here for Cherry Creek. 4:21 remaining here in the first quarter. And this would be outstanding for Fort Collins. They can put some points on the board here before the end of this first quarter. 2 receivers to the top of your screen now for Fort Collins.
Great ball to the flat. A nice hit on Mike McDuff. This is a guy that This is his first year playing high school football. We asked Coach, well, where's he been? Where was he before his senior year? He goes, I don't know. But he's a good athlete. Nice catch here in the flat. Makes a nice move and gets a first down. Missed tackle right there.
And there you see Murphy just unloaded on McDuff. Maybe that's why he wasn't playing football the last three years.
Maybe he was smarter than the rest of us.
Yep. But you know what? This Fort Collins team, they've been hit hard by injuries. And when we were talking to Coach Rice at practice, you know, McDuff went off with the trainer on a cart, and he goes, oh, no, here we go again, another injury. But he was able to get back into practice, and he's in this contest here tonight. 3rd and 1 now. And they got that first down. So Fort Collins stringing some plays together here, moving the chains a bit.
A nice quick handoff there. Nothing fancy. I just told the guys up front to get the job done, get the first down.
As long as they can do that, they'll keep Elway off the field. That was Aruba Reyna with the run there for Fort Collins. There you see the brain trust of the Lambkins. So 1st and 10 now for Fort Collins. There's Aruba Reyna again, trying to find some real estate.
And this guy will run the ball, so good blocks up front, but they are so impressed with this young man here. I think we'll be calling his name a lot tonight.
Yeah, Aruba Reyna and Alvarez are going to be the 2 workhorses in that backfield for Fort Collins.
We got 2nd and 4 now. It's a nice drive, and they're keeping it on the ground, Peter.
And that tackle made there by Brian Price for Cherry Creek. 2nd and 2 now. Donaldson will keep it himself. And we'll see how close he is to that first down marker.
I am so impressed how he reads the option. It's difficult out of the shotgun in a spread offense like this sometimes, but for a junior to do what he's doing right now is pretty impressive. And I saw it last week in the second half against Longmont. They looked like a different team when they came out of the locker room and they started running this option out of the shotgun. And you have to make split-second decisions. You have about 2 seconds to make a read here. He's doing a great job, 3rd and 1.
Charles Rice had the tackle there for Cherry Creek. 3rd and 1. Go to Alvarez. He ain't going anywhere, folks.
That may not have been the good read. The correct read. Nice hit there. Matthew Hepper, 6'2", 197 pounds.
And, ooh, you could hear that up here. You could feel it up here, too.
He may look at that videotape and say, hey, pull the ball on that if it truly was an option. Pull it out and try to get outside.
So they're going to go for it now, 4th and 3. This would be a huge confidence builder for Fort Collins. And we got a whistle again, and I think it's going to be a delay of game penalty. We'll just wait and see.
Timeout Fort Collins here.
Oh, they're calling the timeout. Okay, so they'll talk things over, make sure they get this play right. And, you know, this Cherry Creek team, they run a 3-5 front. Does that give them an advantage at all when you're taking on a quarterback that likes to tuck it and run?
Well, they're utilizing, you know, they'll throw a lot of things at you, though. They'll run a 3-4, they'll run a 4-3, they'll run a 3-5. But you have to utilize the athletes that you have. And Coach Critchett believes he has the best personnel to run a 3-5 because they go sideline to sideline with their speed and athleticism. They're not massive, but they get the job done. If you wrap up in high school football and you tackle and you're not afraid for 4 quarters, you could be a ferocious defense. But you have to tackle, especially against a running team and an option team like Fort Collins.
Okay, folks, join Scott Hastings and Dave Logan as they analyze the best in NFL action from the weekend on the Altitude Sports Summit Pro Football Edition with former and current Bronco players. They give you the inside track on the big games every Tuesday at 5:30 and 10 p.m. It's the Altitude Sports Summit Pro Football Edition, only here on Altitude Sports. And the odd time we'll find my friend here, Blake Olson, on that show.
I'm on there a little bit.
4th and 3 now for Fort Collins. They're going to run it. That's Aruba Reyna, got the first down. He got more. And that is a big confidence booster right there for the Lambkins.
That's a great call. I don't know if you want to call it a counter or a trap in there. Cherry Creek's expecting the option left here. You see 23 going out to the left. That's just a great call. They're expecting all the flow to go to their right side, Fort Collins' left side, and give the ball right up the gut. Outstanding call by Eric Rice.
And you saw Eric Rice, there he is right there, just pumping his fist, trying to motivate this offense here. 1:11 now remaining in the first quarter. Love to get a strike right here. And there goes Donaldson up the middle.
Well, I tell you what, I love the way this offense looks right now. They look like a totally different team than they did 1 week ago. It is amazing. If they can move the ball up, and you know, it's just like Columbine. You can throw the ball 2 or 3 times a game, and you'll be fine if you can run the ball like this.
So Donaldson inside the 5-yard line. 40 seconds remaining here. There you see 1 of 2 so far in the passing department for Cody Donaldson. 2nd and goal now. Donaldson again, and I think he might have got back to the line of scrimmage. No more than that, I don't think. Cherry Creek just clogged it right up in the middle.
It's the 10th play of this drive, and they're getting the first downs when they have to.
So that will end the first quarter of play right here from French Field. 6-0. Cherry Creek leading Fort Collins. And there you see Mr. Donaldson walking off. Slowly but surely getting this offense rolling. So we're going to step aside for a moment. 6-0 Creek over Fort Collins. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to French Field. Peter Rutgazer, Blake Olson, and Kyle Keefe. 6-0 as we get ready for the second quarter of play. 6-0 for Cherry Creek. Offenses have been struggling, but they seem to be on the upswing a little bit here. Let's now go down the sidelines. A third member of our crew, Kyle Keefe.
Guys, I know there's a lot of attention on Jack Elway tonight, but if we've got an extra camera, you might want to ISO Eric Rice, head coach for Fort Collins, because he is absolutely going bananas over on the sidelines. On that last 4th down play, he was screaming to his team, if it's not there, find a way to make it happen. Find a way to make it happen over and over again. It's almost like he's willing his team to make big plays. We'll see if they can punch one in right here.
Thank you very much, Kyle. So we begin the second quarter now. This is a big play right here coming up for Fort Collins. Donaldson gonna throw. And is that a touchdown? Is it in the hands of number 4?
Incomplete.
Tesh? No, incomplete.
It's a good ball, though. Great defensive play. And you know what? Donaldson showing a little confidence back there. Throwing a little zip on the ball. He's growing up already. It's not a bad pass, but a great defensive play.
Great defensive play there by Lucas Thompson. And you see Lucas Thompson, he's got, look at his biceps, folks. Made out of granite, I think. So now Fort Collins will settle for 3 here. And coming on to kick the field goal is Aiden Albrand. It's a 21-yarder. That's up, and that is well wide. So Fort Collins, after all that work on offense, they come up with nothing. So that's got to hurt.
Yeah, in the name of Jim Turner and Tom Dempsey, he did not make that kick, but you know what? I love seeing a straight-on kicker. That's what football is all about. I love that. I know you're a soccer player.
That's where we disagree. That's where we disagree. We agree on a lot of things, but no, I think you need a soccer kicker, soccer-style kicker.
That was a pretty impressive kick for a straight-on kicker. But you got to capitalize. They didn't, but, you know, they should feel good about their offense right now. You know, Kyle was talking about Coach Rice. He went to Wyoming out of high school, transferred to Adams State. They had Rice playing safety, defensive end, and then back to safety. Very good college player at Adams State, a 2-time RMAC Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, he was a very versatile player in college. So now Cherry Creek goes back on the offense, and that pass is incomplete. And I think Elway was trying to hook up with Holmes out of the backfield. Didn't transpire there. Incomplete.
I don't know if it's a hold on Cherry Creek right now.
Yeah, we got a flag on the play.
On Fort Collins, I should say. I'm sorry.
Let's get the call right here. So we have offsetting penalties, and that'll be a first down for Cherry Creek. You know, when we went to practice the other day and we were watching Jack Elway, the one thing, we all know he has that strong arm, and there you see his dad. I think he could play a little football. Jack he can throw the ball, but his footwork, the mechanics, we've mentioned this, especially the footwork, is just immaculate.
Well, watch his hips all night. It reminds you of old number 7. I mean, his hips more than anything else.
1st and 10 now. Elway throwing this ball, and that's completed to Johnson, and they're close to a first down.
It's a good ball. I saw a drive last year. Jack Elway led his team. I believe it was 80 yards. I think he threw 5 passes. He stood in the pocket, and he fired it. This guy has touch on the ball. He can throw with velocity, accurate, good-looking quarterback.
Takes a little knock right there. So they go back to the ground now, Cherry Creek. They go to Holmes. And he gets a couple right there. Now the speculation is starting now. Where is he going to play his university football? You know, a lot of people say, well, will he go to Stanford? His dad went to Stanford. I mean, you know, and then there's USC. And I mean, who knows where he's going to go? He's probably getting a ton of offers. And Dad, I'm sure, is like trying to help him through the whole situation because he went through the same process himself coming out of high school.
Plenty of rumors out there. He's had unofficial visits to UCLA. I think Stanford. There's talk that John has talked to USC.
Holmes again now for Creek. Breaks a couple of tackles, and he's had a pretty good game so far. Number 25, Roman Holmes.
Yeah, Jonathan Swinehart, the right guard, and Thomas Schneiders and David Gaston doing their job up front on the offensive line. And this is what it's going to look like for Cherry Creek. They need to establish the run so Jack can do what he does best in the pocket. And as I mentioned, this is the second game in this new offense, a pro set offense for Cherry Creek, and it's just perfect for him, and it's perfect for their personnel.
So 2nd and 4 now for Cherry Creek in the high formation. Holmes again breaks another couple of tackles right there, but we got a flag on the play.
Holmes once again on the carry. Picked up by number 55.
And we talked about Roman Holmes, how he's finally understanding what it takes to be a football player.
Maybe a false start, Cherry Creek.
And there you see Chance Crawford. He's saying it's against Cherry Creek, so let's get the call.
Yeah, we didn't have any lightning in the area, but
Not like last week.
maybe this is the same mic that was struck last week.
So anyways, some audio problems there with the referee's mic, but it's against Cherry Creek.
Had discuss Greg Critchett, obviously, as a coach. They got 2nd and long.
Elway's going to throw here. Nice pass right there to McCauley. First down and a whole lot more.
See, he'll get you all night with that. Beautiful crossy pattern, little slant. When you have a quarterback and throw the ball like this, right on the money, where he's going to be.
Beautiful throw.
And he did that the majority of the season last year.
And he's got so many great offensive minds helping him out. His dad is there.
Pete Rebstock
is
also
there. Hacker is the offensive coordinator. So there's all kinds of people to advise him. So we got a flag on the play right here. And they'll discuss things here. Don't know what the call is. We'll just have to wait a second. So that will be against Cherry Creek.
Encroachment. Once again, the call against the Bruins.
So there you see Elway getting some instructions from the sideline.
First and 15.
They've got to clean it up on both sides of the ball. Cherry Creek 4 penalties, 20 yards in penalties. Have to clean that up in week 2.
So that brings up a 1st and 15 situation. Tried to swing that out to Holmes, didn't work, over top of his head right there. There's no chance he was going to catch that.
Got to be careful on that play. Got to make sure you're throwing it forward or the ball is live. They got to get in a little rhythm here. You hear coaches talk about tempo all the time, but this is important for this Cherry Creek offense to get a little tempo going here. Run the ball, eliminate the mistakes.
As we mentioned before, he was a one-man wrecking crew, Jack Elway, last week in that victory against Mount Bello. Try to run it that time. Great defense right there from Fort Collins. You see Teeterman in there, Hedstrom, and number 3, Frysmith.
And they tried to trap right here really quick inside there, and the defensive linemen just do a good job. Cody Donaldson comes up there. There's the starting quarterback in a 5A game making tackles, coming up and making plays. His dad was one of the hardest hitters ever in the NFL.
A number of players doing double duty for Fort Collins. Don't have a lot of depth, but they got a lot of heart. And they're just trailing 6-0 here in the second quarter. 8:26 remaining. 3rd and 15 now for Cherry Creek. Here comes some pressure going deep. And just overthrows the intended receiver right there for Fort Collins. Cherry Creek.
I think that was Papillion, and he'll look at that and he'll figure out what he can do the next time an opportunity like that comes along. He's got to get on his horse right there, get to the ball, and guess who's back?
It's Cody Donaldson, I think, isn't it? Number 21, so he's the triple threat here tonight for Fort Collins.
And remember, this is only a junior.
Yeah, he's a young man, needs to put on a few pounds, I think, and then you're really going to have a football player.
Well, you can't put on any pounds when you're playing every position, every down in a football game, right?
So anyways, Cherry Creek leading this one by a count of 6-0. 8:05 remaining in the second quarter. You're watching high school football right here on Altitude Sports and Entertainment. Welcome back to French Field. Second quarter action here. It is 6-0 Cherry Creek leading Fort Collins, and now Fort Collins back on offense. Had a little bit of a drive going early in the first quarter, or rather the second quarter, and couldn't get a field goal, so we'll see now if the offense can get rolling once again. That's really tough. You march that ball all the way down the field like that, and yet, you want to get something. Field goal, something.
Yeah, but as a coach, you also tell your players to forget about it, move on. It's a long game. It's 4 quarters of football, and things like this are going to happen, so you got to overcome them. On that last play, I noticed that Cody, on the option, he may have wanted to pull the ball out there, and we'll see how that works the rest of the night. I think he had an opportunity to get outside there.
2 receivers at the bottom of your screen. Donaldson will keep it. And Murphy came up and put a hit on him.
Yeah, they'll hit you. Cherry Creek is fast, as Coach Critchett told us. He loves the speed and the pursuit and the gang tackling, and they're not afraid to come up and put a lick on you.
And he's got a pretty good secondary. I mean, they weren't tested last week against Mount Bello, but I mean, Papillion, Murphy, Thompson, great players in that backfield, in that secondary for Cherry Creek. 3rd and 5 now for Fort Collins. Donaldson gonna roll out here, got some pressure, and he is taken down there, and the Cherry Creek defense comes up big.
That's good defensive play. Hey, one of the great things about high school football are the bleachers and the stands. One of the bad things is it kind of shakes with the camera. So you may see that tonight in our telecast. We love high school football, but you got to understand sometimes they are bleachers. Got to make a play there. Cody Donaldson, get rid of the ball or try to do something with it.
See one of our cameramen here tonight. 4th and 9, they'll punt this away. That's Evans. Send it downfield. And that's Chance. Chance breaking away, trying to stay on his feet. And he'll bring it to inside the 40-yard line.
Not a good punt at all. That's a returner's dream right there.
We got a flag down on the play. So a lot of penalties so far in this game. And you know, it's interesting to note Cherry Creek, they have no yards rushing as a team so far. So
yeah, keep shooting themselves in the foot.
And
you know, you have penalties, sacks. 38-yard punt, 30-yard return. Take it back here.
Okay, let's go down to Kyle Keefe. Kyle?
Okay.
Let's go down to Kyle Keefe. Kyle?
Hey guys, coming up on the Birch Subaru halftime report, we're going to be having Rob Larson, the Fort Collins athletic director. We'll be chatting with him a little bit. Plus a great feature on the Cherry Creek quarterback. We've been talking about him all night long. That's Jack Elway. Plus Blake and I will show you all the highlights and stats from the first half. That's the Birch Subaru halftime report immediately following the second quarter.
Thanks a lot, Kyle. 5:46 remaining, and there you see Coach Critchett talking things over. I don't think he's feeling too good about his team right now. They do have a lead, so that's always good, but kind of some inconsistent play on offense. 1st and 10. Holmes now up the middle. He's been breaking tackles a lot here tonight. Drops that ball, though, and I think he's recovered it.
And I didn't hear the whistle, so this thing's a live ball. If Fort Collins recovered it, but it looks like Cherry Creek recovered it. Good blocking up front. He's running hard, but you got to hold on to the ball.
Let's take a look at it right here. I think what happened, oh, right there.
It's a good strip. Coach to do that.
That's Hedstrom right there. He's had a whale of a game so far on defense for Fort Collins.
Yeah, and that's the center on the offensive side of the ball also. He knows a little about holding on to the ball, right?
1st and 10. Pressure on Elway, gets it off. That's to Johnson. And Johnson's made a couple of receptions here so far tonight.
That was a great play by Jack Elway there. He boots out. He had the pressure on. You got to get rid of the ball. A lot of high school quarterbacks will panic right there. Number one, not make the pass or not throw the ball. And he made a play there. And looked a lot like the old Hall of Famer.
And Alex Johnson, number 17, who made that reception. He's got great size. He's made some big plays over the last couple of years for Cherry Creek. He'll go back to Holmes again. He gets a couple. So we've seen Mullen last week. You know, we talked about they're always having to keep up with the Joneses, with the Mullins and the Columbines. Have they got a team this year that you think can really compete with those two teams in the Centennial League?
Well, if you have number 7 at quarterback,
I think you got a quarterback, yeah.
And I do think they can compete with Mullen, and they should. And Coach Critchett knows that the fans expect that, and there's plenty of great history. There's rich history at Cherry Creek. They'll try to do that this year.
Try to swing that one out to Holmes. They've tried that a couple of times, and it hasn't worked, and it doesn't work again.
You know, Holmes is a guy, a track guy, and at one point during the track season last spring, he had the 3rd longest long jump in the nation. That says a lot about him. And he's just coming into his own as a football player. And you got to love that when a kid just grows into the game, really doesn't feel it yet. And, you know, it's a lot of pressure playing at Cherry Creek, just like at Mullen.
You know, when we were talking to Coach Critchett, he made it sound like, you know, like he just dabbled in track, and then to pull off something like that, I mean, that's a pure athlete.
Yes, it is.
So 3rd and 10 now. Cherry Creek marching here. Like to get a touchdown before this quarter ends, before the half ends, rather. And there's a catch right there. Great play by McCauley to keep his feet in bounds and make that reception.
Now look at the footwork, if we do see this again, by Jack Elway. He steps up, avoids the pressure, throws a bullet here. Watch his feet. Sees it coming, steps up. Remind you of someone. Great ball. Nice catch. Stay in bounds. It's a big play.
Huge play right here. 4:28 remaining.
Elway 6 of 11, 61 yards in the air.
Gonna go to the ground now. There's Levy, breaks a tackle. And Levy taking it up the gut.
Yeah, that's a way to run hard. And you see what happens when you can throw the ball. You start spreading it out a little bit. You got to keep people honest. The corners, the safeties, strong safeties, linebackers. Oh, the offensive line doing a great job right there. And Levy cuts back a little to the right, sees a hole, runs hard. Not a big guy either.
Big holes right there for Levy to run through. As big as Swiss cheese right there for number 1. So back to Levy again. He gets stood up there by the Fort Collins defense.
Devon Levy once again on the
Number
carry.
45, Dillard, coming up with a tackle right there for Fort Collins.
Yeah, another guy that goes both ways. He'll be important on the offensive side of the ball, blocking, and he'll come out of the backfield, catch passes also. Tell you, yeah, these Fort Collins athletes are impressive.
And Dillard, one of the number of players banged up. He had a broken wrist that's sort of healed right now. 3:26 remaining. Elway is going to go to the end zone here, and that is a touchdown right there to Johnson.
Beautiful route, beautiful patience by Elway in the pocket, and just fires a great pass. That slant, little skinny post across the middle. I'm telling you, this is so much fun to watch and beautiful to see a quarterback do this. Look at the offensive line giving him time, throw where he's going to be. But there's a flag.
Yes, we do have a flag down on the play, so let's see what the call is. Referee conferring with Fort Collins. So it's against Fort Collins.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, personal foul.
There you see Coach Rice. He's not happy with that call whatsoever. So that touchdown will stand. And we're at 12-0 awaiting the extra point.
That was a great throw.
Yeah, it was a bullet, huh? I mean,
and we talk about John on the sidelines with Jack. He's been coaching him. I mean, he doesn't put a lot of pressure on him, but he's been tutoring him since Pop Warner football.
So we got a timeout here.
Timeout, Cherry Creek.
So Cherry Creek is going to take a timeout and talk things over here, see what they want to do.
I remember watching Jack Elway. I think he was 8 or 9 years old in Greenwood Village, playing a little Pop Warner game. John would sit back and just kind of watch casually, and you kind of knew and you sensed that he would be special. And that's what I love about this relationship. John just wants to, he wants to give back to the kids, give back to the community, give back to his son. Why not? If you're in town, you have the time. He couldn't do it last year because of time constraints coaching him, but why not take advantage of it and, teach these kids some things that they'll never, ever learn in their life from anyone other than John Elway.
See the two Elways talking football right there. I'm sure they've done that plenty of times. It's time now to take a look at what's on tap. Our high school football schedule brought to you by Pinnacle Assurance. Next Friday, it'll be Columbine at Doherty from Colorado Springs. And then September 21st, number 1 ranked Thunder Ridge in the 4A taking on Wheat Ridge from Golden. And then September the 28th, Ralston Valley at number 1 4A team Thunder Ridge from Shea Stadium in Highlands Ranch. So 3 big games right there that you'll see here on Altitude. So Cherry Creek going for 2, and they're not going to get the 2 points at all. And that's got to be a big confidence builder there for Fort Collins. So they do not get the 2 points. It is Cherry Collins that they can get a couple of drives going. Try to get back in this game. And there you see Jack Elway. He's been the story so far for Cherry Creek.
Well, the way mistakes have plagued both teams, you never know what can happen. With 3:19, as you said, left, maybe get in scoring position here. And Fort Collins is a resilient team. These guys know how to win now. Now that Eric Rice is there as the head coach.
Willem Brock will kick this one off for Cherry Creek. That's deep and in the end zone. Let's go down to Kyle Keefe. He's got more on Jack Elway. Elway. Excuse
Guys,
me,
we've
Kyle.
talked a few times tonight about that big loss that Creek had the last year, 33-14. Earlier this week, we had a chance to talk with Jack Elway about his thoughts on tonight's revenge game. Yeah, we don't have that footage right now, but I can tell you in talking with Jack this week and his father John before the game, both guys told me that, hey, this is a big game for us to come out, make a statement that we are a team to be reckoned with and that we will not go down lightly like we did last time when they were playing at Cherry Creek. Guys, back to you.
Thank you very much, Kyle.
Handoff to Alvarez.
Alvarez with the run right there.
Yeah, not much room to work there.
Brian
Just had to do what he could with it. On that play, talking about Cody Donaldson, if you don't know his father, Jeff, not many players can say this, former NFL players. Maybe there's only one, and he may be the only one. He actually knocked out Earl Campbell, his teammate, in practice
Earl
in a
the Pearl.
tackle. Now, Earl Campbell usually was knocking out everyone else on the other side of the ball, but Jeff Donaldson was maybe one of the few players, the only players to ever knock Earl Campbell out.
Earl Campbell, yeah, he was a load. No doubt about that. Donaldson now, he's going to go to the air, and that ball tipped away. He was trying to hook up with his receiver right there. And that's Chance again, and he's been all over the field defensively for Cherry Creek.
Number 17.
Yeah, we were talking about him earlier. Coach Critchett says that he's actually a better baseball player, and but he is so valuable. Look at the hands. Great anticipation. Good feet. And they have so many good backers here. I mean, you're basically talking about 5 strong safeties out there. They'll run around, they'll hit you, they have speed, they can cover. It's an interesting defense, it really is.
3rd and 11 now for Fort Collins. Handoff now. That's Alvarez.
Well, it's a well-designed play, but the problem is Cherry Creek's keeping everything in front of them.
Brian Price.
And if they can't throw the ball, it's going to be very difficult to get on the other end of the field in scoring position.
And that's Price with the tackle there for Cherry Creek. So that brings up a 4th down situation. And now Evans will drop back and he'll punt this ball away. And that one was not a very good kick there by Evans. And that should give excellent field position here for Jack Elway and Cherry Creek.
You know, Scott Evans is a great story. He was the starting quarterback last week for Fort Collins. He told his coaches during the game, hey, if you have to pull me out, put me at tight end, whatever we have to do to make the team better. And he's humble. He cares about the team. He's also a baseball player and hopes to play Division I baseball someday. But you got to love a kid like him. And right now he doesn't feel too good after that punt. But he's been through a lot in the past week and a half.
Yeah, that's a 25-yard punt right there by Evans. There you see, he's not happy with himself, as he said. 1st and 10 as Creek goes back to offense. And Elway trying to find Wilson there.
Yeah, he let that one float a little bit. There's Pete Rebstock over there.
Now, you were telling me he was a pretty good receiver.
Yeah, CSU fans will remember him. And CU fans will remember him also. Former Cherry Creek star, played a little bit with the Kansas City Chiefs. He's back in the Denver Tech Center. This guy would flat up, get up and down the field. Great speed. He'll catch a ball over the middle. Now he's helping out Cherry Creek after 2 years.
A lot of great offensive minds on that side of the field right there. There's a bullet right there from Elway.
Nice throw. Pete was at Bear Creek with Coach Tom Thinnell the past 2 years, and just happy to be back with Cherry Creek. And what an asset for Jack Elway and this coaching staff.
So Cherry Creek going to a hurry-up offense now. Elway looking for a receiver, and I believe that's Johnson with the catch. But we got a flag on the play, and it would look like it might be a holding call. And it is a holding call against Cherry Creek, so that'll nullify that catch there by Johnson and Cherry Creek. So Coach Critchett got to be feeling a little bit better about his team right now.
Yeah, they're up 12-0, but you know, no coach likes to see the mistakes and the penalties. We want to clean this up because after next week, the next 2 or 3 weeks, it's going to get pretty crucial in the Centennial League.
That's a holding call there against Cherry Creek. And you know what? They had a 6-week summer session, this Cherry Creek team. Chalk talks, lifting weights, getting prepared for the season. And then they had a 4-day camp in Highlands Ranch. They took on Mullen, Bear Creek, Grandview. So this is a football team that was prepared for week 1 of this high school season. So 3rd and 20 now. Pressure. Elway trying to get out, dumps it off to Holmes. Holmes with a spin move. Boy, is that exciting or what?
If that wasn't an Elway family play, I don't know what was. I love this. This is just like Pops right here. Stepping up, avoiding pressure, doesn't panic, just kind of plops it off here. This is beautiful. I remember John did that to the Houston Oilers one year in the playoffs. Nice move. You know, if they protect Elway, they run the ball, they'll be dangerous.
You don't think his father's proud of him, the way he's played here?
I'm sure this is the most fun John's ever had next to winning both Super Bowls. If you're a father and your son's playing for one of the best programs in the state, and, you know, he's successful, and obviously he's very coachable.
Let's take a look at this here. Look at this.
This is great. You know, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. Just plopped it out there. You know, John did that in so many games. Great athlete.
And there you see the numbers of Jack Elway, 9 of 15, 104 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception. Yeah, that shovel pass was like, that's pure John Elway.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how you do it in a situation like that. Just get it to your receiver or your running back. Bronco fans, when they're watching this, I mean, their eyes have to be popping out. I know everyone, you know, up to this point, most everyone in the metro area has seen video of Jack playing quarterback, and it's no secret, but as time goes along, he just looks more and more like John.
So 4th and 2, 37 seconds remaining and 37 yards to go before they can punch that ball in. Johnson now gets away from 2 tacklers. Johnson down the sideline. He's going in for a touchdown.
3 great moves.
Shaking and baking there was Mr. Johnson. Takes it in for a major 42 yards on that touchdown right there for Cherry Creek. And they're breaking this game wide open. 24 seconds remaining here in the first half. Take a look at it, folks.
Offensive line does their job. Little bootleg to the left. Here comes the pressure. He gets rid of it. You know, very catchable ball. Doesn't make it difficult for Johnson. Wow, 3 great moves.
Wow.
East and west into the end zone. They're fun to watch. If you get an opportunity and you live in Denver, visit Stutler Bowl this season.
And you know, Coach Rice, Fort Collins can't be happy with those arm tackles. You're not going to take any of these receivers down, McCauley or Johnson, with arm tackles. Same thing with Holmes out of the backfield.
Yeah, he's a defensive-minded coach. He's also the defensive coordinator of the Colorado Ice, the indoor football team up here in northern Colorado that plays at the Budweiser Event Center, and he does not like to see that.
So Willem Brock now with the extra point. It is up and it is good. And it's now a 19-0 lead for Cherry Creek here with just 24 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
You know, we were talking earlier about coaching your son. Remember that John Elway used to sit across the breakfast table from his father, the late Jack Elway, and Jack was just perplexed. And I know John wishes he would have, you know, if he were to do one thing again in his career, he would have played college football for his dad. But his dad was coaching at Cal State Northridge at the time, later became the head coach at San Jose State. John went to Stanford, and, you know, Jack used to joke about this in the late 90s and into the early 2000s, before his death in 2001, how you know, he couldn't get the best quarterback in the country to come with him. He couldn't recruit him. He's sitting across the breakfast table from him every morning.
Every morning.
So now what does John do? What does he tell his son to do? I don't know. Probably just go where he feels most comfortable and where he's going to be the happiest.
And the thing about Jack Elway that I like, I saw a bit of the raw footage that Kyle Keefe had with Jack Elway. Such a humble kid and well-centered, I mean, this kid, he's going to be a great quarterback probably. But, I mean, whatever he decided to do, you knew he was going to be, he's going to be successful at it. He's got a good head on his shoulders. And a lot of that has to do with his father and his mother.
And his teammates like him.
Yeah.
When we were out there, they like to joke around with their buddy, Jack.
So there you see 5 plays, 45 yards. Elway, 42-yard touchdown pass to Johnson, and things getting out of hand here for Fort Collins, down 19-0. And Coach Rice has got to get in that locker room and try to change the game plan a little bit coming up for the third quarter.
Well, he's a disciplinarian and a hard-nosed, tough-nosed coach. He's great for the kids. You got great coaches around him. And they're going to play 4 quarters. You can count on that.
Donaldson again trying to shake and bake, but he gets tackled right there.
Well, we saw Pooter playing Thomas Jefferson before this game here at French Field earlier in the night. They were down 20-0, made a game of it in the third and fourth quarter. So you got to come back out in the second quarter and work hard.
That's Robbins with the tackle right there. And that will end the half, and it's been all Cherry Creek here. You're watching Altitude Sports and Entertainment. You're home for Friday night football all season long. Hold on a second. We'll go down to Kyle Keefe. Kyle?
Yeah, guys, we're just watching Creek leave the field right now. We're waiting for Coach Critchett to come up here. Obviously, a team that's pretty excited about where they stand right now, and I'm actually walking over to catch Coach Critchett, but you saw it right there, 42 yards out. It was Jack Elway. They seemed like they were just trying to get a first down, and good fortune spun them back into the end zone. I believe it was Johnson with a 42-yard touchdown. I'll send it back up to you guys right now. I'm chasing down Coach. It looks like he's going the wrong way. I'll tell him where the locker room is here in just a sec.
Thanks a lot, Kyle. Okay, that's the end of the half with the score 19-0. Cherry Creek leading Fort Collins. You're watching Altitude Sports and Entertainment. You're home for Friday night football all season long. Stay tuned. Coming up next, the Burt Subaru halftime report.
Try the world-famous orange chicken at Panda Express. The talented chefs at Panda created their secret recipe with tender pieces of lightly battered, boneless chicken covered in an amazing sweet and tangy orange sauce. Have some today, only at Panda Express.
Can't get gas for a buck,
You can't even get a cup of coffee for a buck.
but you can get $1 Million abs for a buck.
Ab Lounge is the new gold standard in abdominal exercise.
And now you can try the Ab Lounge XL system for a full 30 days with free shipping and handling on delivery.
Not for the usual $14.95, but for just $1.
Crunches are obsolete.
Ab Lounge XL's jackknife gets you up off the floor, stretching beyond 180 degrees for ultimate results.
When people ask me if the Ab Lounge works, I tell them it's amazing. It got rid of my pot belly. If it can do that, it can do anything.
Ab Lounge XL is built with club quality features and stores just about anywhere.
Call now to try Ab Lounge XL, including Ab Blasting DVD, Healthy Eating Guide, 2-week Jumpstart Program, and aerobic workout for 30 days for just $1.
We know you'll love it, but if you don't, call within the trial period, send the system back, and have no additional payments. We'll even refund your dollar.
You can get this greasy hamburger for a buck.
Or you can discover the secret to $1 million abs.
My name is First Lieutenant Frank Wilson with Delta Company, 2nd Light Armor Reconnaissance Battalion, Executive Officer. Just wanted to say hello to my in-laws back in Colorado Springs, Colorado, to Stephen and Eleanor.
And welcome to the Burt Subaru halftime report here from French Field in Fort Collins. Your score after the first half, it's Creek on top of Fort Collins, 19-0. Thanks to good old number 7, Jack Elway. And that's probably not what you wanted to hear. Right with me today is Rob Larson. He's the athletic director over at Fort Collins. And, let's talk about the game here for a little bit. That's probably not what Fort Collins was hoping for, but again, number 7, a pain in someone's rear.
I know, Jack came out, he's played well the first quarter, and he's made a lot of nice throws. He's kind of settled down in the pocket, and you could see him really step up. Last year, you know, we got to, I think we got to him 7 times in the game and kind of rattled him this year. I thought we were going to do that early in the first quarter, and we sacked him early, and he kind of stepped right back up and came back and really led the offense down the field.
Let's talk a little bit about the success that your program has had over at Fort Collins. It's not just football the last 3 or 4 years, but there's a bunch of different programs where you guys have really kind of turned it up to the next level.
Yeah, we've been really fortunate to have just a great coaching staff in place at Fort Collins High School. Last year we played for the state championship in our boys soccer team, and 2 years ago we actually won it. So Coach Odorizzi has done a great job working with those guys and just proved to get them ready to go year in and year out.
Let me ask you something, Rob. What are your day-to-day responsibilities as an athletic director? You and I were kind of joking about this earlier. Is it one of those things where you just kiss your wife goodbye, I'll see you in 10 months, I got to go attend every single event that happens, or are you kind of picking and choosing?
I think you know, we try to, as ADs, get to as many events as possible. Obviously, with 19 different sports across 3 seasons, it's hard to get to everything, but try to support the athletes as much as we possibly can and just make sure they get everything kicked off, and schedules and buses and referees and umpires. So yeah, it's a busy job, but if you love sports, it's a great job and a great position to be in to help support high school kids.
Yeah, and what's better than being in sports? That's what we love to do. Rob, thanks for joining us, and best luck coming up in the second half. And speaking of what's coming up, it's going to be a glimpse into the future possibly for Bronco fans. We'll spotlight number 7 for Cherry Creek. Keep it right here on Altitude.
Are you ready for the all-new 2008 Subaru Impreza? Ready for an incredible 224-horsepower intercooled turbo engine? Ready for 0 to 60 in under 6 seconds? Ready for the most fun all-wheel drive vehicle on the planet? Ready for the best prices in Denver? Of course you're ready. And now you're ready to head to Denver's first and biggest Subaru dealer, Burt Subaru on Broadway, Denver's Subaru headquarters. We're ready with more of the all-new 08 Imprezas than anyone in town, and prices no one can touch. Click on ImprezaHeadquarters.com. We're ready. Are you?
3 sausage McMuffin with egg sandwiches. Yeah. All right.
Miles would like an order of world-famous fries.
53 double cheeseburgers.
More freshly prepared choices every day.
A little something for the whole team.
The McDonald's Dollar Menu. Everyone's a fan.
When you're hungry for a great cut of beef, nothing beats USDA Choice, the king of beef. You'll find it at King Soopers.
And Gleason recovers a fumble in the end zone. That's his first career touchdown. Wait, is that a Dr. Pepper? Oh, he's going to make the most of this one.
Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. We're so glad you could attend.
Can you believe this? We might be here all night. Is he really going to do this? Look out.
Only Dr. Pepper has 23 flavors packed into one bold taste. For those who make the most of everything.
And welcome back to the Burt Subaru halftime report from French Field in Fort Collins. Your score, Cherry Creek 19, Fort Collins nothing. Hey, earlier this week we had a chance to go to Cherry Creek High School and talk with Jack Elway. I got to tell you, polite, respectful, but the number one thing about him, he just wants to win. Here's more on number 7.
Since 1983, the number 7 and the name Elway have given nightmares to NFL Hall of Famers across the land. And now, a new generation begins. At 6'4", 200 pounds, this lanky senior quarterback has some striking similarities to his old man. Never mind the obvious looks, he's a gunslinger from the pocket, with the mentality that winning is the most important thing. That is what makes Jack Elway special.
I could care less what my statistics look like, but most of all, I just want to win games and get as deep, win the championship, and that's my main goal.
Pressure having John Elway as your dad? Sure, but Jack uses it to his advantage.
It's always been there, obviously, and over the years, I mean, you just get used to it. It's just something that, I've learned to deal with. And, having him out here in the field right now, just, it helps so much.
It's nothing new for Jack. From Pee Wee football, calling the plays, throwing the deep ball, or making defenses look silly on the quarterback sneak. Dad has always been there, just like any normal father, helping him along the way. And what a job he's done. Last week, Elway threw for 253 yards with 4 touchdowns in the air and 1 on the ground, going 20 for 27 on the night as Cherry Creek steamrolled Montbello 35-7.
I think physically is probably the biggest transformation from last year. Of course, he's always been, he's always had a good frame, but he really added probably about 20 pounds in the offseason of muscle.
So with all the media coverage and pressure of being Jack, son of John Elway, we asked, why number 7?
I guess you could say the number just picked me. I mean, I've had it since I've been in 2nd grade, and I mean, I have no reason to change it, so I just decided to keep it.
So while one Elway steps out of the spotlight, a new one steps in. So get used to seeing number 7 run through the tunnel for years to come. After all, it's just a kid's game, and having an Elway around just makes it that much better.
Good. Our second kicker is Kirsten Minchow.
Where peaceful meets explosive. Where serene meets exhilarating. The all-new Infiniti G. Where thoughtfully crafted meets 306 horsepower. Design beyond machine.
Stop by Infiniti of Denver today.
Try the new Thai Cashew Chicken at Panda Express. It has marinated chicken breast, chopped bell peppers, sliced onions, fresh cilantro, and of course, plenty of crunchy cashews, all tossed in a sizzling wok. It's Panda with a Thai twist.
What would it be like to walk in the footsteps of your hero? Oxygen, the only TV network owned and operated by women, is bringing along the next generation through mentorship.
Well, I wanted to be a part of Oxygen's Mentor Walk because I was mentored.
Really a great opportunity, and I thank you guys.
Oxygen's Mentors Walk. Women at the top of their field, helping women on the way up. Aspiring young professionals will be matched with 100 leading women at the Oxygen Mentors Walk in Denver. For more information, visit the Women's Vision Foundation website at womensvision.org.
Home is a refuge, a place to get away. Get away today and every day with comfortable home furnishings from Furniture Row Shopping Center. Hurry in soon. Our special Labor Day offer of no payments and no interest for 2 years is almost over. Plus, get incredible savings, all backed by our 200% guaranteed lowest price pledge. Don't get too relaxed yet. Furniture Row's no payments and no interest for 2 years offer ends Wednesday, September 12th. Home is here. Furniture Row Shopping Center.
The always tough Columbine Rebels look to continue their climb to the top as they take on Doherty Spartans. Next Friday at 7, only on Altitude, your home for high school football.
Can they hear me?
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give these students a big hand. And a big thank you goes out to the Fort Collins High School cheerleaders for helping out.
Hey guys, welcome back. Blake Olson, Kyle Keefe from French Field. Had a little bit of a power outage there. Everything kind of went crazy and haywire, but we want to walk you through the Burt Subaru halftime stats. Let's take a look at them right now. And Blake, what stands out for you?
Well, the offense, obviously, for Cherry Creek after they cleared up some of their mistakes. First quarter, Jack Elway to Michael Wilson, and he would stretch out for the touchdown after he catches the ball in the flat 12 yards for the touchdown. Then again, a bullet Elway to Alex Johnson, 18 yards for the touchdown, 12-0 Bruins. And then later, Elway, little boot left, avoids the pressure, hits Alex Johnson, and look at Alex Johnson. 3 gorgeous moves, takes it 42 yards for the touchdown, 5 plays, 45 yards for the drive. It's 19-0 right now, Cherry Creek.
Now let me ask you something. Something that I thought was real interesting about what the players on the field think of Jack Elway as a person. I mean, they really love him, and when you look at his stats right now, you know, it's one of those things that you say, yeah, we love him as a person, but what he does on the field, that's pretty impressive.
That's right, 104 yards tonight, and you're right. What's good about it, and you talked about it in your piece, he is humble. Sometimes when you're 15, 16, 17 years old and you have everything that Jack Elway has going for him, that's difficult at times, but his teammates love him. They have a good time with him at practice and during the games.
All right, that was the Burt Subaru halftime stats. We've got the second half coming up next from French Field. Whether we're lit up here on stage or not, we'll have the action for you next, right here on Altitude.
Are you ready to get your game on? iPods, Wiis, and more waiting to be won at all Burt locations. Get your game on at Burt, on Broadway, on Arapahoe, and in Parker.
I thought you said we'd see something big. That's huge!
Introducing Monster Shrimp from Long John Silver's, our biggest shrimp ever. Breaded to perfection in a combo with fish, pups, fries, and a drink for $3.99. Monster Shrimp, monster value. Only at Long John Silver's. Go boring overboard.
This lush expanse of green does more than beautify our world. Trees help clean the air of carbon dioxide, a major greenhouse gas. As North America's largest recycler, last year alone, Waste Management recycled enough paper to save over 41 million trees. From everyday collection to environmental protection, think green. Think Waste Management.
For a great cut of beef, nothing beats USDA Choice, the king of beef. You'll find it at King Soopers.
Welcome back to French Field right here in Fort Collins, Colorado. Peter Rutgazer, Blake Olson, and Kyle Keefe and the rest of the Altitude television crew. And there you see the score, 19-0. It has been all Cherry Creek. And check this stat out, 127 yards of total offense from Cherry Creek compared to 65 total yards of offense for Fort Collins. And I'll tell you, this Fort Collins team, they're going to have to get something going on offense, and they've got to start passing the ball. Only 6 yards passing in that first half, Blake, and now down 19-0. They have no other choice. They got to go to the air, I think.
Yeah, but at the same time, you can't bail because you can break some big runs also with an option. We saw Cody do it earlier. You know, remember, that only takes 10 seconds to go 65 yards if you can break an option. So I don't think you panic yet. You still got to, you know, run your offense.
So still stay on the ground, you think, for a bit?
Well, just to establish, establish something on the, try to establish something on the ground, and then maybe try to throw it a little bit and get a little more creative offensively.
You out of breath from running up those stairs?
Absolutely not. I was just doing push-ups back here, and we have a little booth, so it's like a sauna, and I figured it would be a good opportunity to work out.
Okay, let's go down the sidelines. Here's Kyle Keefe.
All right, thanks, guys. Coach, kind of a disappointing first half for you, obviously, but talk a little bit about the interception, maybe some of the missed opportunities. There was a missed field goal in there. What'd you tell your guys in the locker room?
Well, we've had a ton of missed opportunities. You know, the one thing we told our offense, amidst all the struggles we had in this game and last week, is that we were able to drive the ball all the way down, but we just didn't finish. And that's what great teams do. They finish. And, you know, they obviously finished the first half, like a championship team, and finding a way to break tackles and get a score. So we got to find a way to do that ourselves.
you know, talking about that fourth down that you guys went for when you were screaming at your team, you've got to find a way to make this happen. The team did it. They marched it all the way down to the 3-yard line. Like I said, you missed the field goal. Talk a little bit about the play of your quarterback, Cody Donaldson.
Well, he's a great kid. He's a hell of an athlete. You know, he's a tremendous competitor. You know, he made a mistake down here, and you know, we kind of set him up for their first touchdown. But you know, he knows the mistake that he made, and he's going to go out and give you everything he has and try not to duplicate those mistakes. You know, he's just a tough kid. He's playing both ways. I really can't ask much more of him.
Do you change the game plan here in the second half? I mean, do you maybe want to air it out a little bit more, or are you thinking Cody on the run?
No, you know, because he was able to pop that one down the sideline there and pick up, you know, however many yards he got. You know, looked like maybe 20 or 30, and you know, he's able to break it at any point in time. So I think we stay the course on offense, but you know, on defense, it's just about finishing. You know, we're right there. I mean, Chance Crawford's missed probably 2 or 3 sack opportunities tonight, just barely missing. And then we have a DB that's out of position and blowing a coverage, and then we're missing tackles. And, you know, we're not that far off on defense. We're just not finishing, and that's the key to this half.
All right, Coach, appreciate your time. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, guys, they're down 19-0, but if Coach has anything to say about it, they'll march right back into this thing, I can guarantee it. He's a University of Wyoming Polk. How can they not?
Yeah, but Kyle, he transferred. He told us he wasn't happy.
It's in his blood, guys. It's in his blood.
Hold on. He told us he wasn't happy with the program. He left.
Well, now Joe Glenn's at the helm. Everything changes.
He said the restaurants were better in Alamosa than in Laramie.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You know, he is an interesting guy, though. I mean, he is passionate about football, and he learned from former Green Mountain head coach Don McGatlin. Anyone who's followed high school football in the state of Colorado knows that Coach McGatlin was the cowboy that used to walk the sidelines.
The cowboy hat on, apparently,
yes,
right?
He looked like, I don't know, McLeod or Wyatt Earp. And Coach said he actually didn't wear the cowboy hat when he played for him. But he also has a younger brother, Kevin. There you see Coach Critchett, who knows Kevin and Eric Rice very well. But Kevin is now at Skyline High School in Longmont. First year there, and he's turning that program around. And I think Skyline is going to be very happy with another Coach Rice in the mix.
And Coach Rice's, Eric Rice's wife, Lori, she was a pretty good athlete in her own right. She ran track at Penn State, apparently.
Yes, she did. She was a state champion in the 400 meters here at Fort Collins, and then went to Penn State. If you're running Division I track,
I think
in a
you're
Big
pretty
12,
good.
You're pretty good.
Yeah.
And she helps out with the football program. How do you get the coach's video? Well, you get your wife to do it. So she's shooting tonight to make sure all 22 are seen on the screen. That's Lori. They've been married for a year. They're newlyweds. What a life to be a wife of a high school football coach.
And so we're underway here with a third quarter of play. And Fort Collins, they have to do some catch up here now. And their offense will get started just around the 10-yard line. And you heard Coach Rice, they're going to stay the course here, stay with the game plan, run the ball.
Yeah, I think you have to. I mean, you can't abandon what you do best. And as we said, I know this is going to sound repetitive here, but, you know, you break a run, it takes 15 seconds off the clock. And, you know, that can happen in a situation like this. Now, they're only down 19-0, so anything can happen. They got to get some confidence in the offense.
So that's a 9-yard return right there for Fort Collins. You know, we saw a game earlier today, Pooter, they were down 20-0 and they made a game of it. So they keep it on the ground once again. A couple of hard yards right there as that's Aruba Reina with the run.
Yeah, they really like this kid. He runs hard. He does what, you know, they ask him to do, and he'll stick it out all 4 quarters. He's a tough guy. You know, actually, Fort Collins, a lot of people don't know this, but their numbers are actually 4A numbers. They're not going to move down to 4A so they can keep that rivalry with Rocky Mountain and Pooter. That's very important. Fossil Ridge takes a lot of their students, the new school in Fort Collins.
So 2nd and 7 now. Big time run right there, right up the middle. Take a second look at that right now.
Yeah, the offensive line doing their job. It's just a straight give here. And hard running. I mean, not much more you can say there. Hold on to the ball. Keep your knees up. Get your feet moving.
And that was Blake West with that run. And Blake West, he had a broken collarbone first day of scrimmages. And didn't know if he was going to be available for this game, but he's in there.
Going both ways. Another guy going both ways.
As we said before, they don't have a lot of depth, so players like Crawford, like West, got to play both ways, got to play offense and defense. Okay, let's take a look now at the keys to the game once again. Brought to you by Panda Express.
Yeah, attack early on, and I think Cherry Creek has done that. They had some penalties, made some mistakes early on, but they have been protecting Jack Elway. 9 for 15, 104 yards, 3 touchdowns. For Fort Collins, stay competitive. They're staying in the game, 19-0. They still have a chance, and they're trying to confuse Elway, but you know, he's just doing a great job. He's avoiding the pressure, and he's playing like an all-state quarterback.
5 receivers in this offense right now for Fort Collins. Decide to run the ball, and that's West again. And he probably lost a yard, might have got back to the line of scrimmage. So no room whatsoever there for Fort Collins.
You know, you got to think about that, though, when you're going both ways in the highest level of football in Colorado. This is not easy, and you're at a disadvantage. Creek may have one guy going both ways, as opposed to Fort Collins 5 or 6.
So Hepburn read that play very well there for Cherry Creek, came up with the tackle.
You got to love his passion. A senior, 6'2", 197 pounds, loves the game. He'll come up and hit you also. Keeps his shoulders square to the ball, a great pursuit.
3rd and 10 now. That ball is dropped there by Donaldson. He's going to have to get it off. Here comes some pressure, and that's an incomplete pass. So they'll have to kick this one away. So their first offensive series goes nowhere. And I think it might have clipped that running back right there. He had the ball coming to his hands, and his own teammate might have knocked it out of his hands.
Yeah, there's no real tempo, no rhythm in the offense right now. They'll try to get it back before they get too desperate with over 8 minutes to play in the 3rd.
So Evans surveying the situation, seeing if there was anybody open, but he'll drop back and punt this one. That's a big punt right there. Shantz back for it around his 20-yard line. Looking for a hole to open up, trying to go down the sideline. He gets tackled just outside the 30. So we're going to step aside for a moment. Cherry Creek leading this one by a count of 19-0. High school football right here on Altitude.
See that house? I built that house.
Hey, see that truck? I built that truck.
The American-built Toyota Tundra. Find out more at ytundra.com.
This lush expanse of green does more than beautify our world. Trees help clean the air of carbon dioxide, a major greenhouse gas. As North America's largest recycler, last year alone, Waste Management recycled enough paper to save over 41 million trees. From everyday collection to environmental protection, think green. Think Waste Management.
High school football on Altitude Sports and Entertainment is brought to you by Pizza Hut. The Dippin' Strips Pizza is back for only $9.99. Get America's favorite pizza, Pizza Hut. The Toyota Tundra and your greater Denver Toyota dealers, and Pinnacle Assurance, Colorado's leading workers' compensation company, and by Sports Authority. Raise your game. Welcome back to French Field, 19-0. It's been all Cherry Creek so far in this contest, and there's a big reason for that 19-0 lead for Cherry Creek. Mr. Jack Elway, as he comes back on the field, look at those numbers: 9 of 15, 104 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. He had that pick early in this contest, so he has definitely settled down since then. 1st and 10. A beautiful run right here, and that is number 1, Levy, and he is gone. See you later. Touchdown, Cherry Creek.
Well, great blocks up front, and Devon Levy takes advantage of this. You know, we saw his brother do this a couple years ago. One of the fastest guys in high school football in Colorado a couple of years ago. very good athlete, a playmaker here. Great blocks. They go to the right side. All the flow goes to the right. Fort Collins follows. He cuts back, takes advantage of it. An excellent speed. You know, they have, with this two-back offense now, pro set style, they have an opportunity to break big plays in the running game because Jack is able to throw the ball. It has to keep everyone honest. Once you get past that first line, anything can happen.
That's a 68-yard run by Levy. And, you know, you have to be impressed with all three of the running backs that we've seen here tonight. Holmes, Levy, Wilson has a touchdown in this game, so they've got plenty of depth in the running back department. That extra point is up and it's good, and Cherry Creek just having a field day here now. There you see the scoring drive, one play, 68 yards.
Got good vertical too.
Very good vertical.
Yeah, you know, Cherry Creek is a lot like Mullen in the sense that everyone around the state, I mean, these guys, when I was in high school, it was Cherry Creek that was winning state championship games. And, you know, you have to perform. People expect that. Just a huge hold. Nice little move right there. When you have sprinter speed, anything can happen once you get past that first level.
Fantastic blocking right there by the O-lineman to break him free.
That's not a bad average.
That's pretty good. 4 rushes, 79 yards, and a major. And you see Mr. Levy pretty happy about that, and that gentleman is pretty happy with what he's seen from his team from an offensive standpoint. Coach Critchett.
4633 South Timberline Road. Another proud sponsor of Lambkin football.
He's a guy that played at Pueblo Centennial for Tom Brockman. Still spends time with Mr. Brockman when Coach Brockman isn't in Arizona during the winter. He graduated from Centennial in '88. He played at Adams State with Eric Rice. He was a left guard and spent 10 years at New Mexico Highlands. And by the way, Coach Brockman, if you watch TV in Denver, if you remember Wendy Brockman, the anchor, that's her father.
Kickoff right here, and Mr. Levy, he's averaged 19.75 yards per carry. That's pretty good average. Okay, folks, if you like your football, we've got all the action you can want Saturday right here on Altitude. Tomorrow's a doubleheader that starts at 1 o'clock in the afternoon with the CFL as the Hamilton Ticats take on the Toronto Argonauts. Then at 5, college football kicks off with Hawaii. June Jones and his team taking on Louisiana Tech. For the complete college football schedule, visit our website at www.altitude.tv. So plenty of football on the air right here on Altitude Sports and Entertainment. So Fort Collins going back to the offense right here in a major hole, down 26-0. Donaldson looking for a receiver. And not going anywhere right there. That defense of Cherry Creek has been rock solid. They haven't given him an inch.
Yeah, he didn't see anything there. You know, it's better to try to get out of bounds at the line of scrimmage. He may have got 2 inches on that than throw it away or throw an interception, that is, create a turnover. He's going to grow up here this season, and I think Fort Collins will still be okay. They just have to get their offense together, get the guys that are banged up, get them healthy. And, you know, there's so many good football players that know the game in this program now. You cannot overlook them.
Donaldson just 1 yard in the last 6 carries. Donaldson again in trouble, and he's lassoed and thrown down.
Miscommunication there. One guy went the wrong way, didn't run the correct play. You don't know who it is, but you know, I can't emphasize this enough. When you're playing both sides of the ball and then you're expected to lead the offense, that's a challenge.
Gifford came in there and threw him down like a rag doll. He's had a pretty good game as well.
Yes, he has. Those guys, I agree with Coach Critchett. He loves the speed and the pursuit, and they're going sideline to sideline. They're showing that tonight.
3 sacks on the night for Cherry Creek. Donaldson gonna throw this one, and a reception right there.
That's
number
a good
16,
ball.
yeah, to Evans.
Last week's starting quarterback catches the biggest pass of the night from the new quarterback, Cody Donaldson.
But I think, thought it was a flag on the play, but it's going to be a first down. Maybe that'll get them rolling right here. Take a look at this play.
This is a good ball. And, you know, between two defenders, and nice catch by Evans, who just handled that so well last week, changing positions from quarterback to tight end.
And when we talked to him, he said he was fine, you know, wants to do it for the team. And there, drop pass by number 1 McDuff, and that was right in his hands. And there you see Donaldson not too happy with that.
Yeah, think about running maybe before he caught the ball, a little bubble screen out in the flat. And actually, it looked like there was an opportunity to gain, you know, 8-9 yards on that play. Execution is vital in this situation. Every play is important for Fort Collins.
Mr. McDuff hasn't made too many mistakes this season. Coach Rice very happy with him. As we said, this is his first year playing high school football. Run it up the middle and get a few yards.
I had a little fake there. Number 27, and then Donaldson takes it up the gut and gains 4 yards. The problem is the clock is ticking away, but you know, you have to be patient. You really do. And plus, you got to remember, this is a non-conference game, so you're trying to get better also. And in the end, if you win the conference, that's all that matters.
As you say, time running down here in the third quarter, 6:20 remaining. This is a 3rd and 5 situation now for Fort Collins. Little pitch inside right there.
That's a beautiful play. That's another example of the option with a little shuttle pass inside, and they pick up the first down. Well designed.
That's Blake West with that run for the first down. So they've been able to put 2 first downs together here in this second half. Take a look at this play here.
And you see the end, and the backer come up there. He has to decide whether to pitch it or keep the ball. And that's not an easy task in a 2-second period.
See Coach Rice having a little laugh, trying to keep things light even though his team's down 26-0. And then there's a fumble. It's picked up. And that'll be a touchdown there for Cherry Creek. Number 27 taking it home. That's Brian Price with the major.
Let's see what happens. They may bring this one back.
There is a flag down on the play, so let's await the call and see what happens here.
Yeah, good heads-up play by Brian Price, the junior.
And it looks like it's going to go against Cherry Creek. He's pointing that way, so. And it is against Cherry Creek. So that
Personal
touchdown,
foul somewhere.
That touchdown will be nullified. So that's a big break right there.
I'm not sure if someone got a face mask. Not sure exactly what happened on that play.
Coach Critchett, he's trying to figure it out himself right there. The explanation by the official, but that's a big break right there for Fort Collins because they were starting to get some confidence going on the offense and don't want to drop that ball and lose that momentum.
Yeah, Coach Rice will tell Donaldson, you know, all week long as they start to prepare.
After the fumble, personal foul on the returning team, unnecessary roughness. 15 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
Couldn't tell where it happened, but, you know, Coach will preach to his quarterback. He's got to protect the ball.
Okay, we're going to step aside for a moment. Cherry Creek leading this one 26-0 right here on Altitude.
How do you get from 0 to 120 in record time? Go to Go. Announcing the Go 120% trade-in event. This week only, Go will purchase your trade for up to 120% of book trade-in value. That's up to 120% of what the book says your trade-in is worth. No games, no gimmicks. You'll clearly see your trade-in value on the new Go Smart Choice. Don't miss the Go 120% trade-in event. The light's green. Go.
You know, Sandy, you have a wonderful aura about you.
Oh, thanks, Ann. I just bought my new Aura at Saturn of Fort Collins, and I love it.
What are you talking about?
You see, Ann, the new 2007 Aura was just voted North American Car of the Year.
What else attracted you to the Aura?
Safety, the new Aura comes standard with 6 airbags, OnStar, and StabiliTrak too.
Wow, it looks like I need to get to Saturn of Fort Collins.
The key to enjoying your future starts right here today with a new Saturn from Saturn of Fort Collins.
Welcome back to French Field. Cherry Creek leading this one by a score of 26-0 here in the third quarter of play. And Mr. Brian Price right there picked up a fumble, took it all the way. Take a look at it right here. There you see Donaldson. He'll get stripped of the ball, and there you go. Linebacker's dream there, Blake.
Yeah, everyone swarming around the ball. This is a great example of what Coach Critchett was talking about. The pursuit, gang tackling, athletic, flying around, making plays, pick up balls and take them north to Wyoming.
Unfortunately.
That was a great play, by the way, by number 13. Great strip, pops it out.
Okay, let's go down to the third member of the crew, Kyle Keefe. Kyle?
Hey guys, I had a chance to talk with John Elway prior to the game, and I was talking to him about Jack, that I had spoken to him earlier this week, and I told him what a well-balanced, nice young man his son was, and I asked him how he liked coaching. He said he loved it, he missed it, but for me, you have to think not only for Jack, but for everyone on the team, what an experience to be able to say, I was coached, at least to some capacity, by Hall of Famer John Elway, 2 Super Bowl rings, an MVP, basically an icon across the country, and again, John is, you know, he's always a first-class guy, always friendly and fun to be around. I can only think how much better he makes this Cherry Creek squad.
Thank you very much, Kyle. No doubt about it. I mean, he's a walking encyclopedia of football, I would imagine. He's got 2 Super Bowl rings to show you. So 2nd and 7 now. So unfortunately, Greg Price's dream of scoring a touchdown doesn't happen for him. So now here's a long pass by Elway, and the intended receiver trips on that play. That's McCauley. Couldn't keep his footing, and the ball was just maybe slightly out of his reach.
Yeah, just tripped up. Through that ball, you see John's arm, the strength, and that's not easy. Rolling left like that after booting out. Just tripped up. And he's not going to be happy about that tomorrow when he sees the highlights.
McCauley stays on his feet. That's probably a major there for Cherry Creek.
Hey, number 13, Charles Rice, made that big defensive play. That was huge.
Way to throw again, this time to Johnson. Johnson already has a touchdown in this game. Another reception for number 17.
Yeah, he's a natural out there. You can see after he catches the ball, he knows what he's going to do with it. Just smooth.
Talking to Coach Critchett the other day, he said he's a player that has that knack for making big plays. He's done it for Cherry Creek, did it last year for them, doing it again this year here in the early going of this season.
The attendance here tonight, 5,500. And I will tell you, Peter, the closest, I spent almost 10 years in Texas covering high school football in Texas. And when Rocky Mountain and Fort Collins meet here at French Field, which is one of the better facilities in the state of Colorado, they just keep it up so well. This is the closest thing to Texas high school football in Colorado when Rocky Mountain and Fort Collins get together. This place is packed in the regular season. Nearly 10,000 people, well, at least over 8,000 people attend that game every year.
That's a pretty good crowd here tonight.
Yes, it is.
And I think this young man might have something to do with it. Jack Elway.
His dad may have a little something to do with it also.
And Dad is here too.
These are 2 great programs.
So 1st and 10 now, 4:23 remaining here in the third quarter. Elway going to throw again, and nobody home there.
You know, you were talking about Creek playing in the KSA football camp in the summer. Grandview, Mullen, Bear Creek, Pomona. I mean, they knock heads for 4 days in that camp. And this day and age, as we talked about last week, it's not just 7-on-7 camps. I mean, these days, you can go to team camps. Fort Collins did it at Chadron State. They actually got in a little heated battle.
Tussle, yeah.
A little tussle with Eric Rice's brother, Kevin Rice's team at Skyline in Longmont at the Chadron State summer camp.
There's Levy again trying to bust it outside. Got a first down, got more. Great speed by number 1. as he turned the corner right there.
Well, that was beautiful.
And he's holding his calf muscle there. Might have pulled something.
Look at his patience here, though. Sees something. He doesn't accelerate till right there. That point, gets around the outside. Nice looking running back.
There you see him taken to the bench right there. He's hobbling.
Right knee or right ankle, it looks like.
Yeah, he was holding his calf muscle there, and we'll have to await word on what his situation is. But boy, what an exciting running back he is. We hope that it's not too serious. So 1st and 10 now. And that'll be a delay of game penalty, I'm sure.
Penalty marker down.
Wait the
False
call.
start.
And excuse me, that's a false start.
Dead ball foul. False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. The down remains first.
Yeah, if Levy's holding his calf, hopefully it's just a cramp.
There you see the training staff taking a look at it right there. Boy, I mean, Coach Critchen, yeah, you know, I'll put Levy in for a bit. I'll go to Holmes for a bit. Mike Wilson, put him in. You know, I mean, like an embarrassment of riches, you know, if you're a head coach to have 3 great running backs.
Yeah, they do have speed. They have speed to surround Elway. That's going to be huge down the stretch.
Especially when you get into the colder weather, it gets damp outside. You need to have a good running game. Elway's going to fire it up again, and that pass is incomplete.
That one floated. He stepped up. You know, in this offensive line, can't say enough about them protecting him and doing a pretty good job against, you know, a hard-nosed, tough defensive line and some backers from Fort Collins.
I mean, he might have been touched maybe once, maybe twice so far in this game. So, I mean, hats off to the offensive line. They've done a fantastic job.
Yeah, it works hand in hand. They give him some time, and then if he's able to step up a little bit, avoid some of the pressure, it's the greatest team game on earth.
2 and 15 now. Oh, another great reception right there for Cherry Creek. And that is McCauley making the catch.
Peter throwing across his body, rolling right, still have velocity on the ball. Nice catch by McCauley. It's just a little ad-lib in here. He knows where the receiver is. Squares his shoulders.
And, you know, his situation is really not different from, you know, his situation with his dad being an NFL quarterback, excuse me. It's no different from Archie Manning, his 2 sons. And I just saw the other night on television, you know, Joe Montana has 2 sons that are quarterbacks as well. As Cherry Creek trying to get it into the end zone, and they do. Another touchdown right here for the Cherry Creek Bruins, and they're making it look easy, and that's number 2, Mike Wilson. Just talked about him. He comes in, gets the touchdown.
And he stretched out for that first touchdown. Great effort, and then here comes Wilson again, right side. And you're right, Peter. They're throwing in some athletes back there. Good block right there.
Another arm tackle there by Fort Collins, and that's not going to get it done.
I don't know who was at fullback there. I want to say Joel Ragsdale was there, but he made a nice block and opened things up, if I'm not mistaken.
So that extra point is up, and it is good, and the route continues here, 33-0, 3:31 here in the third quarter. It's been all Cherry Creek. Well, each and every week during our coverage of high school football, we name a Dr. Pepper Player of the Week, and wouldn't you know it, this week's recipient is Cherry Creek's Jack Elway. Last Saturday, the senior quarterback led the Bruins to a 35-7 victory over Mount Bello. Elway passed for 4 touchdowns, ran for another as he racked up 242 yards through the air. So the Dr. Pepper Player of the Week, Jack Elway of Cherry Creek. And who knows, the way he's playing here tonight, he might be the Dr. Pepper Player of the Week next week.
It's a good possibility. You were talking about Montbello. I thought they were on their way to surprising Mullen last night. Had a huge kick return. And, you know, Montbello has great athletes. If they could put it together, who knows, they could be dangerous down the stretch. It may take them a little time. But Mullen, once again, wins last night against a very athletic team at All City Stadium. And next week we have Columbine and Doherty. That's going to be
that
exciting.
should be very interesting. There you see the scoring drive. 7 plays, 51 yards. Did it in 2 minutes and 1 second. Wilson with the 8-yard touchdown run. Yeah, next week's game, Blake, is going to be very interesting. It'll be nice to see this Columbine team. I've never seen them, but I've heard good things about them, and they're one of the top teams in the state.
Yeah, Andy Lowry does a great job coaching them up. They run the ball, run the option, keep an eye on the ball. It'll be so much fun to watch a triple option with the Rebels.
Okay, let's go down to Kyle Keefe. Kyle?
Yeah, well, the update to Devon Levy, what looked to be a pretty serious injury as he pulled up on that calf muscle, just turned out to be nothing more than just a cramp. I walked over and looked at the trainer, and he gave me the thumbs up, and I kind of snuck over a little bit closer to Devon, and I said, "You okay?" And he was already hot dogging it with all the fans behind us. He's up and walking around and telling jokes over here, so I would assume all is well in Levy world.
Thank you very much, Kyle. Yeah, I kind of figured it was, I mean, the way he clutches his calf muscle, probably
yeah, when you're a
little bit of
sprinter.
a cramp.
Yeah, when you're a sprinter, that happens a lot, especially early in the season.
Maybe take a look at the sad eyes of Cody Donaldson. Hasn't been a good night for him.
No, it hasn't, but he'll keep on growing, and I think they're in good hands. This is a team, I'm telling you, that team from last year, Fort Collins, that was Coach Rice's first group of seniors that have been with him for 4 years. Talking about 3 Division I players. Talking about a Division I AA player. Jeffrey Byers' brother, Dan Byers. Jeffrey Byers, now at USC, 4 years ago was the best football player in the nation, offensive lineman, now an offensive lineman in Southern Cal. He lost some quality players from last season, and he's going to go through these growing pains.
Okay, folks, King Soopers is proud to support future generations and their love for choir, band, and athletics, and so much more. The support their community high school activities in our home state. King Soopers will make a $10,000 donation to the Colorado High School Activities Association, King Soopers, where our people make the difference in your neighborhood, because it's our neighborhood too.
You know, former Lampkins doing big things these days. John Cooper, center at Oklahoma. OU will be dangerous this season. Derek Catlett at Iowa State, who Rice says won the job at fullback because of just sheer determination, his intelligence. These guys were part of that team that lost to Mullen in the semis in 2004. There's some more great former Lampkins from Fort Collins.
And another one was Pete Welch, place kickers at Wisconsin, and from what I understand, he could boot the ball right out of the stadium. So had a strong leg.
It's incredible.
Donaldson in the pocket. Here comes some pressure. Fumble, and it's recovered by Fort Collins. And that's really been the story all night long, as this Cherry Creek defense has just been manhandling Fort Collins.
Yeah, you just have to protect the ball. He'll learn this. At the same time, you know, you tell your quarterback to be comfortable. Right there, you got but 2 hands on. The guy's not big. He's 6'1", 160 pounds. He's going to get beat up a little bit. Got to cover the ball and hold on to it, or your coaches are going to have heart attacks.
Leger coming up with the recovery right there for the Fort Collins Lambkins. 2:05 remaining here in the third quarter. 33-0 for Cherry Creek. Donaldson back. He's going to throw this ball. Haven't seen this too often. That's almost picked off. Try to hook up with Evans there.
More great defense in the backfield.
That was number 3, Thompson, breaking up that play. And Thompson and Papillion, they haven't had much to do in this game.
No, they haven't. His backers doing a great job. But at the same time, he's not completing any passes, so the cornerbacks are doing their job as well.
And I think Donaldson's on the punt team here. I mean, this young man hasn't been off the field yet tonight. Here comes Chance now. He gets taken down just over the 40-yard line. And there you see Donaldson. I mean, this young man he must be dead tired. He must have dropped about 5 pounds here tonight.
If he has 5 pounds to drop, yeah, his dad has to be proud of him. This is not easy. As we mentioned earlier, his brother Zach and Matt Yem rooming together about 5 miles away from here at Colorado State. I think both those guys are going to be big players for Sonny Lubbock's Rams.
First and 10 now for Cherry Creek. Here comes some pressure now on Elway. He's going to toss this one up, and there's another catch right there deep in Fort Collins territory, and that's McCauley.
That coming back to the ball. He didn't stop. He saw it. It was underthrown. And a great play by the receiver to come back to the ball. McCauley, 32-yard reception, comes back. That's a great play. It's thrown behind him. Everybody's helping out tonight for the Bruins.
Yeah, it's been a team effort, no doubt about it, on offense. I know we've been talking a lot about Jack Elway, but the receivers have done a great job. McCauley, Johnson, the running game has been outstanding. And here's another great player here, Wilson. They're just throwing everything but the kitchen sink here at Fort Collins.
Someone down. I think it's an offensive lineman.
And that's a cramp right there. And can't quite see the number. And there's number 55 right there for Cherry Creek. Gaston, he's cramping up.
Oh, that does not feel good. More water. You know, you get into the early part of the season in September. You hydrate yourself. These guys who were waiting around for a while, they were on a bus. Cherry Creek had to sit around. And of course, he's hydrating. Good choice. Go take the bottle out to the guys who need it right now. No,
Mike McDuff getting a drink right there.
Yeah, these guys are hurting. You know, they had to stand around a while, waiting for that Pooter game to finish with Thomas Jefferson.
You see Gaston, he'll go off and get some attention. And I believe that's number 45 for Fort Collins, Devin Dillard. And he was the gentleman that we talked about earlier in this contest that had the broken wrist. So, you know, the last 3 years when we were talking to Coach Rice the other day, they have been hit hard by injuries. And not just, you know, the second stringer or, you know, somebody who's really not involved in the first team. Key players have been out of their lineup each year the last 3 years. And he's had to do a patchwork job of getting a team together, and he had to do it again here tonight.
Yeah, in a situation like this, you know, his kids believe in the system. And they trust what he's telling them. And you have to, you know, handle the adversity with the injuries in a way that sometimes is difficult. And with over a minute to play here in the third quarter, they'll just keep on trying to put pressure on Elway and keep him out of the end zone.
It wasn't Dillard, it was Blake West who was down there for Fort Collins. Another pass complete there to Johnson. Time winding down here in the third quarter.
Good tackle by Colton Richard. Still playing hard.
You see Devin Dillard. Mentioned he had the broken wrist. And gentleman that we haven't seen here tonight, number 2, Hans Broman. He had the collarbone, broke his collarbone, we mentioned.
Yeah, August 18th.
Yeah, first scrimmage that they had. And he's dressed tonight, but they didn't want to use him.
Yeah, he's dying to get out here. He wants to help his team out.
So 3rd and 2 now for Cherry Creek. And that pass incomplete. And you see Jack Elway running up, not happy with himself.
You know, we talk about Eric Rice, the head coach of Fort Collins. He played 7 years of arena football in several cities. He was a player coach in South Dakota before he became the defensive coordinator with Greg Critchett at New Mexico Highlands. Then 5 months later, took the job here at Fort Collins. And Lampkin fans are glad that he did.
Yeah, I mean, when we had a chance to talk to him the other day, I mean, this guy could be a motivational speaker. I mean,
absolutely. I
mean, you could listen to him all day just talk about football. Elway going to the end zone, another touchdown right there. And that is McCauley making the catch.
If he can't do it in the pocket, roll him out. The mechanics here are gorgeous. When he boots out and he sees his receiver, he squares his shoulders That's as good as you're going to get. Throwing on the run, squares up, rolling left. Great job by the receiver, the offensive line.
That's a beautiful throw right there. That's a thing of beauty.
It really is. Not only is he a pocket passer, Peter, he can throw on the run. And we saw him run the option last year. You know, he's not an option quarterback, obviously, but he did a really good job running the option.
Extra point up and good. Now it's 40-0 for Cherry Creek. 7 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. So I'll ask you this, Blake. Do you sit him down now? You've got this game pretty much in hand. I mean, do you go to Chance or what do you do?
Yeah, I think that's what Coach will do. I mean, they're good friends. There you see John and Jack Levy. I think I would do that, but at the same time, you know, you got to respect Fort Collins. But, you know, they're good friends. Critchett and Rice are good friends. They know each other well. We'll have to see. It's a tough call because you want your team to get better. But at the same time, you know, Fort Collins is on their heels. And there you see it.
And that looks like it's Nick Kroll, I believe, warming up. It is. So warming up, we'll probably see him at some point, I would think, in this game. 40-0 for Cherry Creek. Okay, let's take a look at the scoring drive. 5 plays, 56 yards in 132. Elway, a 16-yard TD pass to Thomas McCauley. And that's where we're at. 40-0 for Cherry Creek.
Yeah, I think he's had enough work as they prepare for a difficult Centennial League. They have to feel great riding the bus home tonight.
Yeah, I think he's passed the audition. Sign him up.
And Lampkin will take over at the 20-yard line.
So, I mean, I don't know. Down 40 now. I mean, what positives do you take out of this game if you're, you know, if you're Eric Rice and Fort Collins? Is there any positives you can take out of this game?
Well, you're running a program. You know, that's the thing. You can't just look at one game. You can't look at just one season. Eric Rice looks at it as a lifetime. I'm sure if he had it his way, he could be at Fort Collins High School the rest of his life. It's a great place to live. So you got to look at it as you're building a program. You have some young players here, and you know, you can't do it overnight.
Up the middle, get a couple of yards right there. You know, when we talked to him, you know, he's a little bit of a disciplinarian. So we're going to take a break right now. And it's all Cherry Creek right here. They lead Fort Collins. We'll be back with more high school football right here on Altitude Sports.
Denver's best house bands are back on stage on Altitude. Sit down with some of the area's hottest groups, rockin' the region's coolest clubs, and enjoy music from all genres. On Stage, new episodes premiere Tuesdays at 9.
I live in Westminster, Colorado. Sundays at my place are like an open house. I spend all morning getting ready for the game. I'm a bigger fan than my husband. I don't even allow non-Bronco fans in my house. I put out a huge spread, I make my special Broncos tea, and all my family and friends come over. I grew up a Broncos fan, and it's a tradition that I'm passing down to my family. My name is Janelle Madigan, and we will forever be proud citizens of Broncos country.
Do you need to make a career change? If you want to know what today's hottest jobs are, you need to call and ask for a Career Starter Kit. It's full of the information you need to choose a hot new career. If there was ever a phone call you could make to have a real impact on your future, this is it. And right now is a great time to call.
For a free Career Starter Kit, call 1-800-604-2800. That's 1-800-604-2800. Call now.
The always tough Columbine Rebels look to continue their climb to the top as they take on Doherty Spartans. Next Friday at 7, only on Altitude, your home for high school football.
Welcome back to French Field right here in Fort Collins, Colorado. Peter Ruttgazer, Blake Olson, and Kyle Keefe and the rest of the Altitude Sports team. And Cheerleaders haven't had much to cheer about for Fort Collins. They're trailing here in this game by a count of 40-0 against Cherry Creek.
Well, now you just got to start feeling good about yourself somehow. Run the offense, do what you've been taught, and try to gain some confidence and grow. Learn some things out here. Get a little tempo in the offense. You're not going to win this game, more than likely. But, you know, you can learn some things out here, especially on offense.
So Fort Collins, 29 rushes for 81 yards, 2.7 yards per carry, and that's not going to get you a whole lot of places. Cody Donaldson still in the game, a quarterback for Fort Collins. That ball comes out of his hands right there.
Well, this is what he needs is reps. He needs to continue practicing this position. They told him that they're going to go with him. He's going to be the quarterback. They're going to have to be extremely creative with their personnel, using guys all over the place, and that's tough for a coach.
And you know, this is really his only week, the only week he's had having reps as a quarterback, because they thought going into the season he would be the backup quarterback and play full-time as a safety. So change of plans, and now he's the man under center. Okay, we're going to take a break right now. 9:58 remaining here in the fourth quarter. All Cherry Creek leading 40-0 over Fort Collins.
I thought you said we'd see something big. That's huge!
Introducing Monster Shrimp from Long John Silver's, our biggest shrimp ever. Breaded to perfection in a combo with fish, pups, fries, and a drink for $3.99. Monster Shrimp, monster value. Only at Long John Silver's. So boring overboard.
A Toyota? Get in. Toyota? Get in.
The Toyota Tundra is changing a lot of minds. Find out why at ytundra.com.
High school football on Altitude Sports and Entertainment is brought to you by Burt Automotive. Score the lowest prices in Denver at Burt.com. Taco Bell for the meaty, crunchy, spicy, and grilled taste you want at night. Experience fourth meal at Taco Bell. It's not just food, it's fourth meal. Waste Management, think green, think waste management. And by Go Auto Group. Click GoCarsAndTrucks.com to shop 17 Go showrooms. The light's green, so go. Welcome back to French Field here in Fort Collins, Colorado. And now we've got a new quarterback in for Cherry Creek, and that is TJ Shantz. You saw him earlier tonight doing such a great job as a linebacker. And now he's going to take the controls over here on offense. And Jack Elway is going to sit this one out for the last 10 minutes and 56 seconds.
Yeah, he's an all-round athlete. We've seen that tonight. Plays shortstop in baseball.
And he'll just run that ball and try to take that clock down. 40-0, as we mentioned here for Cherry Creek.
Peter, he was the MVP, the team's MVP last season. And, you know, a young man like this comes into the season, they want to win the league, and a lot of these guys look up to him.
So 2nd and 9 now. Two receivers at the bottom of your screen. And Shantz looked like he was a little confused there. Play action. And we've seen that all night long. They've been hitting his receivers with no problems. And take a look at the game summary right there for Cherry Creek. Elway, 12 of 22, 165 yards, 4 touchdowns. And there you see Johnson, 7 catches, 109 yards and 2 touchdowns. So that's a good combination tonight here for Cherry Creek. Johnson and Elway.
You can see why Chance is a good shortstop, throwing that ball on the run right there. Cherry Creek always has all-around athletes, good baseball players, basketball players who also play football. Jack is playing basketball. You have a lot of that, and both these coaches believe in that wholeheartedly. They would rather their guys play 3 sports, 2 sports, than just specialize in one.
Cameron Coates with the run right now, so you're seeing a lot of the second and third teamers now for Cherry Creek. Coach Critchett trying to get everybody a little experience here.
You know, he wanted his guys up front to create havoc. Guys like Pete Williams tonight, Matt Adams, and they did that tonight.
Yeah, Donaldson just, I mean, he could not move this offense. They couldn't get anything going because that front 8, that 3-5 offense, 3-5 defense, excuse me, really put the clamps on Fort Collins.
Yeah, they were flying around tonight.
There's Thompson with that punt right there, and that'll be Fort Collins ball just around the 40-yard line. Okay, let's take a break right now. It's been all Cherry Creek right here, 40-0 over Fort Collins. The fourth quarter is there. You see Eric Rice, the coach of Fort Collins, trying to keep things positive. And, you know, we talked about his brother who's a football coach, but he has another brother who might have been the best football player of them all because he was on scholarship at New Mexico, and now he's in Fallujah. He's a Marine.
Yes, he is, and in Fallujah, in Iraq, First Lieutenant Ryan Rice.
That ball intercepted. That ball's picked off right there by Cherry Creek, but we got a flag on the play. Yeah, Ryan
Rice. I mean, if there's a way that he gets a hold of this tape, he's in Iraq, and we want to thank him for his service. First Lieutenant, he's a Marine, and when you talk to Eric Rice, you know. You know that you know it's not a stretch that his younger brother would be a Marine. Crazy.
Oh no, definitely not. I mean, and he told us after 9/11. Wait for the call right here, and that's going to be against Cherry Creek. He told us right after 9/11 that I mean he was ready to go, just like Pat Tillman, the late Pat Tillman. And you know, Eric had to tell him, "Hey, settle down now. You're on scholarship in New Mexico. Listen, finish school, finish football." Then enlisted in the Marines.
Right. And he said he loves serving his country. He loves being a Marine. And his brother, Kevin, their other brother at Skyline High School, has the same type of intensity that Eric has. You just see it right here. He just doesn't stop. We're 8 minutes to go in this game. It's 40-0. He's going to coach them up until the end. Comes from a strong-willed family. Both parents still living in Lakewood.
So now Fort Collins back on offense, 1st and 10. Going downfield, and there's a reception right there.
It's a nice ball to that rookie who's a senior.
Mike McDuff making a great catch. And, you know, people might be saying to themselves, you know, this game's out of reach. Take Donaldson out of there. But like we said, this was his only week of reps. And, you know, he's got to be under center a few more times and get a feel of the offense to feel comfortable out there. And there you see his numbers.
Yeah, he's really only had 3 full days of practice knowing that he's a starting quarterback. It's a good ball there.
Go deep and tried to hook up with McDuff once again. Couldn't get his hands on it.
Not bad placement on the ball. I'm not sure if he ran the correct route. That may have been the only place you could throw it in that situation. But Fort Collins, the football program, excuse me, you know, is in great hands with Eric Rice. And, you know, they're going to learn from this. They'll bounce back, and who knows how they'll do the rest of the season.
You saw Donaldson walking to the sideline right there trying to get the play, and that's a young man who looks very tired. Gonna roll out here, get some pressure, and again, trying to find his receiver. That was Tesh he was trying to find, couldn't hit him, and That's been the story of the night for this Fort Collins team.
You know, when Donaldson's dad played up here in Fort Collins in high school, they didn't have padding on the goalposts like they do now. Okay, and legend has it that after touchdowns, Jeff Donaldson would score and go bang his head against the goalpost. So you kind of had a feeling that this guy was going to be a hard hitter and one of the nastiest defensive players to ever play in the NFL. The Houston Oilers and the Atlanta Falcons and the Kansas City Chiefs, former Colorado Buffalo. A lot of people call him a poor man's Jack Tatum.
There goes Aruba Reina. He might have got a couple on that play. Yeah, Jack Tatum, he was pretty tough, wasn't he?
Yeah, he could play a little defense.
Yeah.
He wasn't that intimidating, though. That was his problem. You hear the sarcasm.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Hey, tomorrow about 10 miles west of here at Hughes Stadium, one of the fastest teams in the country, Cal takes on Colorado State.
Number 12 in the nation, I believe, aren't they?
Hopefully it'll be sold out.
Yeah, there were 5,000 tickets left for that game, so.
Saw plenty of speed tonight, and you're going to see it tomorrow at Hughes Stadium.
Go to the end zone, touchdown. There you go. And that's Alvarez making that catch, and a beautiful throw right there by Donaldson. Well, hey, listen, they're not going to win this game, but finish up strong, get some confidence going into week 3.
That's right, run your offense, and who knows what you can learn in these situations, and you got to love the Fort Collins fans. They're here. They stay to the end. Nice play. Good catch, good throw. It can happen. I mean, it's a fine line between success and failure on the offensive side of the ball.
Extra point here, and that's good.
And the point after by number 18.
And it's now 40-7 for Cherry Creek. And there you see Donaldson. Yeah, he's tired. And there you see the scoring drive. 6 plays, 58 yards in 1 minute 35 seconds. Donaldson, 21-yard TD pass to Alvarez.
Yeah, you're a soccer player. You know, he's moving around like a soccer player. He's just moving all over the field. This is nonstop. You know, a lot of people say football is just, 5 seconds of action, then you go back to the huddle. He's running all over the place.
All over the place, yeah, just like a soccer player. Except for getting hit and everything like that, Just the hitting part.
Leaving out a few little things.
Okay, be sure to join me and my partner right here, Blake Olson, and the sports information directors from the area's colleges as they break down this weekend's college football matchups on the Altitude Sports Summit College Football Edition. That's Thursdays at 6 p.m. only on Altitude Sports and Entertainment.
Yeah, Kevin McKinney comes down from the University of Wyoming for that. We appreciate that.
Oh,
Wyoming with a huge victory last week over Virginia at Memorial Stadium up there in Laramie.
And altitude played a factor in that game. Here's a squib kick right here. And try to find out who got that ball. I think it's Cherry Creek will recover it. Yeah, altitude definitely played a factor in that game. Wyoming defeating Virginia.
7,200 feet above sea level. Virginia comes up from the ACC. And we mentioned it on the show a couple years ago when Ole Miss came up there. The greatest team in the SEC, but they're one of the, they're an SEC team. They come up to Laramie, they didn't know what they had hit. And the altitude does play a factor. And if you can hold on to the ball and prevent any mistakes, you can win games in Laramie.
Chance now. Come on, Cole. Got to get this ball off. Gets it deep. Oh, big time catch right there.
And
it's
a
number
good throw,
15.
too.
Patterson Shaw with the catch. Wow.
Well, Chance shows that he has a little arm here. Nice move there, avoiding the pressure. And hey, it's not easy to throw with those shoulder pads on. He has linebacker shoulder pads on, too.
It's not like whipping a ball in the hole, when you're a shortstop.
That's right. You got to love a quarterback wearing a big neck brace like that. Only in high school football.
done a great job taking over from Jack Elway, mopping things up here. 6:20 remaining in the fourth quarter. Decide to keep it on the ground, get a few yards, chew up some more of that clock.
Greg Critchett is going to go to 35-13 as head coach at Creek. Pretty good record.
And yeah, you know, we talked about the pressure that's on anyone who coaches Cherry Creek, because, you know, one time they really dominated. And, you know, he doesn't really think about that. He concentrates on the game plan, getting things ready. Lets other people talk about, you know, the pressure.
Yep. He feels like he's in the dream job.
Yeah, head football coach, and he's coaching phys ed.
That's right. I mean, teaching PE and coaching football at Creek. That's not bad.
Doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah, he's a guy that won a state championship in 3A at the time, but Pueblo Centennial. They beat Longmont. He lost in the semis his junior year. You know, he was a solid football player. And if you go to Dutch Clark Stadium in Pueblo, you'll see a great atmosphere in Southern Colorado. That's another great place to watch high school football in Colorado. Any of the rivalries in Pueblo at Dutch Clark.
And you see a smile there from Coach Critchett. So first and goal situation right now. Thomas gets the carry right there for Cherry Creek. So as we said, a lot of the third stringers getting some action right now, getting a feel for the game.
Yeah, we talked about the youth program in the Cherry Creek area. Very good youth football program there. But Coach Critchett worries about recruiting sometimes.
Out of
Pop
Warner, yeah.
Yeah, out of
you
Pop
mentioned
Warner.
that the other day.
You know, all the coaches talk about this in high school football. It gets difficult now, but you know, you try to see the kids in your neighborhood grow up in your program. Hopefully they stay in the neighborhood, stay in the schools.
Back to Thomas again now, sidestepping his way, and he's in for a touchdown. And Cherry Creek just making it look easy. And this is the fourth running back that we've seen here tonight. Number 12, Britton Thompson. And
good work up front.
The offensive line just punched out holes right there for him, no problem. Could have put a Mack truck through there.
That's a good looking offensive line. We saw it tonight, and that's so important. Columbine will tell you that.
See Thomas with a little high five there with Levy. I mean, how many more running backs does this team have? Good running backs. I mean, like I said, we've seen Holmes, Levy, Wilson, now Thomas. I mean, that's unbelievable.
It really is.
Extra point is no good. Briggs missed that extra point there for Cherry Creek, so we're going to take a break. It's been all Creek down 46-7, but everybody seems to be having a good time. They're still cheering on their team.
Well, one thing, as a head football coach or an assistant coach in youth football, high school football, you teach your kids not to quit. That's what both coaches will do all season long. They'll do it during practice. They'll do it in the off season, in the summer. These guys have spent a lot of time together in the off season, not just in football season. They spend a lot of time in the weight room.
Yeah, and that's the thing that Coach Rice talked about when we saw him the other day here in Fort Collins. I mean, don't quit. And there were a couple of players on his squad weren't happy that they weren't playing the positions they wanted to play. So they up and quit the program. And, you know, I mean, Coach Rice, you know, he was good about it, but he said, you know, he doesn't want players to think that they could come in here and play. I mean, you got to play 2 or 3 different positions here because, you know, they don't have a lot of depth. So,
yeah, and you know, Scott Evans is a great example of that. He, you know, lost his job at quarterback, and during the game last week against Longmont, he told the coaches, do whatever you have to do. I just want to win. I care about the team. And, you know, he handled it so well And that's what every coach wants in a player like number 16, Scott Evans.
Flag on the play.
Dead ball foul. False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. The down remains first.
And that's happened several times tonight as the Fort Collins offense getting a little jumpy. Yeah, that's music to a coach's ear. You know, listen, I don't care where I play, as long as we win. Long as I can contribute to a W, doesn't matter to me.
Right in the middle of the game.
Yeah.
Also. That's what you want. That's how you win championships in high school football. Total team effort.
Alvarez on the ground now. And there's still a lot more fight in this Fort Collins team. You know, this Fort Collins team back in 2004, they lost in the semifinals to Mullen by count of 35-14. And Mullen went on to beat Creek in the final that year. So this team, this program here at Fort Collins, they've had some success.
Yes, they have. And before that, they were down. You know, I don't know if it was 10 years, 15 years, but you didn't hear much from Fort Collins until Coach Rice got here. This is a classy outfit.
There's Alvarez with a nice looking run there for Fort Collins, trying to finish up strong here with 3:12 remaining.
Now, we've talked a little bit about Chance Crawford, number 61. I think he's wearing 61 tonight.
Yeah, we didn't know for coming into the game. He might have been wearing 61 or 91 because he had to change around, you know,
yeah, he's playing
play
both,
a couple of
both
different
sides
positions.
of the ball.
Exactly.
That's right.
Yeah.
And he may be one of the best, if not the best, football players on this field. There's a good chance he could end up at Air Force playing for the Falcons. They've already offered him a scholarship, but you know, he's a man. He'll get it done.
There's a fumble right there and a Cherry Creek recovery.
Recovered by number 56, John Garcia.
So Chance is on the bench, and not sure why, but he's going to be a guy that they look up to and they rely on all season long in 2007.
And there's a happy bunch of players there with Cherry Creek. That bus ride back home is going to be enjoyable, I would think.
Yeah, maybe they'll get John to, you know, drop by Johnson's Corner and get a big cinnamon roll.
One of those big cinnamon rolls, yeah.
Yeah, see if John Elway walking in Johnson's Corner with Cherry Creek Bruins, that wouldn't be a big deal, would it?
UQB in the game here for Cherry Creek. And number 15 breaking away for a touchdown, but we got a flag on the play. That was Patterson Shaw. And we'll see what the call is here.
The ball was carried by number 6, Cameron Coates. Fumble was picked up by Patterson Shaw, but we do have a penalty marker down.
Get a little meeting here with the officials. And here comes the call. Still try to figure things out here with
there's a hold there.
2:35 remaining here.
Penalty on both sides of the ball.
Live ball foul. Illegal block in the back on the offense. 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
Speaking about those cinnamon rolls, was it cinnamon roll? When we came down here, our producer Andy bought us one of these. I think it was Andy, or was it you?
I didn't buy any cinnamon
I think
roll.
it was Andy, our producer. He bought one.
Yeah, those are great cinnamon rolls at Johnson's Corner.
Sweet though, I tell you.
Yeah, they're sweet. Yeah, that maybe we could give some to some of the skinny guys down there, like Donaldson. See, he'd run it off in 3 seconds. You know, Northern Colorado, this area has great high school football. You know, Greeley West lately has been one of the class teams in 4A. Loveland always has a solid program. Longmont's on the way up. Fort Collins, Rocky Mountain, Pooter, we saw them last week.
That's Thomas trying to run it in. He gets nowhere.
But then you have all the youngsters in the Cherry Creek area wanting to become Bruins.
And rightfully so. And there's a great Bruin right there. Alexander Johnson, he's our player of the game. Look at the stats on the night from Johnson. 7 catches, 109 yards, 2 touchdowns. And of course, Jack Elway had something to do with that, but Alexander Johnson was just so reliable as a receiver for Cherry Creek.
Made some great moves after the catch. Athletic. I'm sure Jack is happy he's on his side.
So we got Nick Kroll in there now at quarterback for Cherry Creek. Handoff right there to number 6, Coates, and Coates is in for a touchdown.
Number 6, Cameron Coates, in for the touchdown.
Nice run. Great job by the offensive line. They're just running their offense base out of their pro set. Plenty of room to roam.
I don't think he was touched there, was
he? Coach Critch had talked about how, 9, 10-year-olds in the Denver Tech Center area, Englewood, in those neighborhoods, they walk around, they dream about being a Bruin. That's the way it's always been down there. And that's one reason that program is healthy. Still that way. Great youth football in South Denver, in the Southeast Denver area.
And they're looking pretty healthy here tonight. Having an easy time of it by a count of 53-7 now. Okay, let's take a look at the play of the game. Excuse me, player of the game is Alexander Johnson with a touchdown catch right there.
This is the great one right here. 3 or 4 nice moves. Stays in bounds, cuts against the grain, gets into the end zone.
And, just like Coach Pritchett said, he makes big plays, and that second touchdown you saw there was definitely a big play. And there you see the numbers once again. 7 catches, 109 yards, 2 touchdowns. And hopefully our Kyle Keith will chat with number 17. And to see all the players on that sideline, all smiles as they should be. They fantastic night tonight. And they'll move to 2-0 on the season.
Peter, the best entertainment for your dollar in sports is high school football. You get a chance, get up here to French Field, go to Ray Patterson at Loveland, Everly Montgomery Field in Longmont, Stutler Bowl in the Denver Tech Center to watch Cherry Creek. So many great games on Friday nights around the state of Colorado.
Back for the Lamplin, you have a River Ringer and McDuff.
And both these guys have been part of it.
Coach Rice and his staff right there. And we can't thank Coach Rice for his help the other night, or the other day, excuse me, when we came up to Fort Collins, get some information on his team. He spent the whole time with us on the sideline, talked to us, gave us all kinds of information. Has so much confidence in his assistants to get the practice done and to get the players through their reps. So we want to thank Coach Rice for all his help this week.
That's right. And his offensive coordinator is the offensive coordinator of the arena team, the indoor arena team up here. He's the defensive coordinator of the Colorado Ice. Two of his assistant coaches play for the Ice. I mean, they're busy with football year round.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely a person that likes his football.
He takes pride in the program, Peter. He really, really cares about the way it looks and the way these kids handle themselves off the field.
As a matter of fact, after we finished talking to him, he was going to have a chat with some of his freshmen who weren't behaving themselves, I think, and he's looked at his watch and said, "You know what? I gotta do some other. I'll get to them tomorrow." So I can only imagine what that conversation was like.
He likes calling it the tough talk. He had the tough talk with him, and this is a team that has a little adversity right now, and they'll bounce back from it. They're going to hurt physically and mentally. Try to learn something from it.
So 9 seconds remaining here in this contest.
It's a good opportunity for those guys to make some plays, and that's a final.
So there you have it. Easy night really for Cherry Creek. They win this one going away 53-7. And you know what? Not a close score, but we did see Jack Elway, and we have to be so impressed with his ability and our player of the game, Alex Johnson. And you know, a great turnout here at French Field. I mean, the fans stuck with their team all night long, even though they were getting beat bad. So let's go down now to Kyle Keefe. He's with our player of the game.
Yeah, guys, if you were playing fantasy high school football, this would be one of the guys you'd want on your team. Alexander Johnson, a big night for you tonight. 2 touchdowns, 109 yards. Kind of a shaky start for you guys there in the first quarter, but you got it going, and you redeemed yourself from a loss last year to the same team.
Yeah, we got beat last year by this team pretty good. I didn't get an opportunity to play, but got to come out this year. And we kind of shaky start, was kind of nervous there in the beginning, but we did good and got it rolling and got a bunch of catches, and it was fun.
The Elway-Johnson connection, maybe something we'll be seeing in the future. You and Jack had a nice game together. Well, what's the secret with you two? Do you guys work on certain patterns? Is there a comfort level between you two already?
Yeah, well, we played in AYL in middle school. We played together, so we've had chemistry then. And we went to Peyton Manning's camp over the summer and just been working together, and it's been fun.
We talk about that dangerous passing attack, but the running game, Holmes, Levy, and Wilson, I believe, everybody were piling it up. Talk a little bit about the running game and how nice that is to have. It kind of opens things up for you.
Yeah, we need to get that running game open to, get more passing yards. And when Levy broke that one, he told us in the huddle, he said, I'm going to break this one, and he went and broke it. And it's good to, get some big runs to open up the passing game.
Well, congratulations on a great game. From what I understand, there's going to be a nice long bus ride home, and the guys upstairs want to make sure you go get a cinnamon roll. You gonna stop?
All right.
No cinnamon roll. He doesn't know what that means. Whatever. Congratulations, buddy. Back upstairs to you guys.
Tell them about it, Kyle. So there you have it. We're going to take a break right now. We'll wrap things up. Cherry Creek all over Fort Collins, 53-7. This one by a score of 53-7 as Coach Rice talks to the troops right there of Fort Collins. Final thoughts here now. I mean, we saw an unbelievable quarterback performance by Jack Elway. It's no wonder that there are a number of schools, a whole bunch of schools out there wanting his services. This kid is going to be a great quarterback, just like his dad.
Well, he's humble, and he has great mechanics. He has a strong arm, and he's accurate. He can throw a touch pass, and he can get out of the pocket. He has great feet, moves his hips well, and, he handles himself more mature than most kids his age. And as a quarterback, and the starting quarterback in a program like Cherry Creek, you have to be that way, and they're in great hands. But he has some great athletes around him.
Great team, no doubt about it. Okay, folks, for my partners Blake Olson, Kyle Keefe, I'm Peter Ruttgazer saying so long from French Field, where the final score was 53-7 for Cherry Creek over Fort.
They'll play a lot of man coverage. Plenty